G'day, Rabbit and Julie Goodwin here from Star 104.5.
We love the Central Coast and we love our local sport, especially the Hunter Haval Black Diamond AFL.
You're looking for a feature-packed premium SUV for your family? Check out Hunter Haval and their range of affordable SUVs.
We want to give a massive thank you to all of the Hunter Haval Black Diamond AFL sponsors.
Belmont 16-Footers Sailing Club,
GE Industrial Solutions, ISC,
Prime 7,
Bar TV Sports,
The Entertainment Grounds,
Sports Coast Trophy and Embroidery,
Marks Men Workforce.
Please support our sponsors that support us.
And we'll catch you on the radio 6 till 9 weekdays on Star 104.5.
Introducing luxury you won't have to sell the house for. The new Haval H6 from $29,990.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the second preliminary final here at Adelaide Street Oval in Tumbumby. We have the minor premiers coming off the week off, the Terrigal Avoca Australian Football Club taking on Warners Bay, coming off their semi-final win against Singleton last week at Rose Point Park. Sorry, at Wirman Field in Muswellbrook. My name's Lucas Holmes, and joining me this afternoon in commentary will be my close colleague, David Redden. David, good afternoon.
Hello, Lucas. Welcome. It's great to be here with you, mate, and we can't wait for a big afternoon of football.
We can't, David, and we'll go straight into the sides first. I shall take care of Terrigal Avoca. Terrigal Avoca Australian Football Club, number 1, Matt Shortall, 2, Corbin Bond, 3, James Webster, 4, Lachlan Bayliss, 7, Josh Paulglaze, 8, Brandon Thomas, 9, Jack Grimmond, 11, Sam Ellis, 13, Jason Van Dam, 14, Brandon Harper, 15, Benjamin Lamb, 17, William Delahunty, 22, Dan Houston, 23, Will McKellar, 26, Tom Creswell, 30, Mark Scoos, 34, Kurt Fleming, 39, Pete Van Dam, 41, Lachlan White, 50, Chris Bishop, 54, Jasper Davis, and 60, Jared Flint.
With the Warners Bay Footy Club, number 1, Jack Hardman, number 2, the co-skipper, Jake Roach, number 4, Luke Roach, number 5, Matthew Spinks, number 6, co-skipper Nicholas Turner. Number 7, Ryan Sorensen. 8, Riley Warner. 13, Sam Gibbons. Kai McGrath, 15. Ben Hunter, 18. David McGuinness, 19. Vice-Captain Lachlan Devlin, 21. Josh Nicol, 24. Leo Vo, 31. Kobe McClure, 33. Corey Deverill, 37. Luke McKenna, 38. Lincoln Stewart, 41. Ben Crawley, 42. Zach Simons, 44. Nick Metcalf, 46. And Lachlan Dennison, 69, Louis.
The umpires this afternoon, David Field umpires Ryan Stanton, Darryl Luck, Tom Stewart. Running the boundary, Colin Goodenough, Ethan Robinson. And in goals, Jake Lowe and Jody Jackson.
Here we go. Massive test here for Warners Bay. Coming through the sudden death semi next week. Okay against Singleton. Pretty handy Singleton side. Terrigal Avoca present another massive challenge for them. It's massive for me that Sam Ellis is back in the side, Lucas. That presents another tall target in the forward 50. I understand that Marty Ryman's they're thinking about putting Ben Crawley back at some stage to perhaps man up on as another tall. I'll have to wait and see what that happens. With no McDonald, it'll be interesting to see who goes in and assists at any stage. Assists crawling the ruck. The tallest player I can think of in that mob is probably Luke Roach.
Yeah, no,
he may have to do some work, I think. And then with Terrigal Avoca, they've had a couple of weeks off. Lachlan Bayliss back in, Sam Ellis in. Lachlan White's had another 2 weeks to get his ankle right. And they look very convincing to me. It's a pretty good spine. Paul Glaze, Jason Van Dam, Chris Bishop, Dan Houston, and Sam Ellis. But Warners Bay will, I would imagine, try and create space for Jack Hardman. Yeah. He's their gun. I'm sure that Chris Bishop will put work on Jack Hardman. I would expect there to be tags on one of or both of James Webster and Chris Bishop. I don't think they can let James Webster go unattended. He's, as we saw in the game at Hillsborough Oval recently, when James Webster's left unattended, it's dynamite. So that's my thoughts on it. I think certainly Terrigal over are heavy favourites. Over to you, Lucas.
Yeah, and that's the thing we've seen. We've covered this Terrigal Avoca many times, and for good reason too. If you leave if you focus too much on either Bishop or Webster, the other one that is left more unattended runs a mark more often than not, David.
Look, I agree there. look, it's a very interesting Warners Bay backline when it's put up against the forward line of Terrigal Avoca. For mine, the most important in for Terrigal Avoca of all of their ins in the last 8 weeks is actually Mark Scoos. And Scoos is brilliant. He's just a superb footballer. And he takes pressure off Peter Van Dam. He takes pressure off Brandon Thomas as well. Who gets Thomas? And I would think that Lachlan Deverell might get first crack at him. But Scoos, who gets Scoos in that lineup? Possibly Nicholas Metcalf, Lucas. Do you have an opinion on that as to who might end up on Scoos?
Very interesting. It's sort of hybrid player. Scoos is very good below his knees as well, applying his trade for the East Coast Eagles in the Sydney competition, David. And we'll add to that midfield rotation along with Grimm and along with Kurt Fleming as well, which is a very, very handy midfield rotation, as we've said so often before, and for good reason. In terms of who goes to Scoos, it'll be interesting to see if they stick with one player to him, or they go through a number of players just to try and rotate him over throughout the afternoon. And a player of Scoos' quality has a very good engine as well, as we have both captains going to the centre of the ground, David Luke Roach for Warners Bay and James Webster for the Terrigal Avoca Football Club, making their way to the middle for this toss.
The Hunter Haval Black Diamond Football League sponsors will recognise them now. Hunter Haval, Belmont 16 footers, GE Industrial Solutions, ISC, Prime 7, Star 105.5, 404. I still can't get that right. 104.5 FM. Lucas is chuckling. Bar TV Sports, the entertainment grounds on the Central Coast, Sports Coast Trophy and Embroidery, Marksman Workforce, Subway Morisset, and I'll go back to that one. Star 104.5 FM was listening to them this morning, Lucas.
So was I, David. Jake Roach winning the toss for the Warners Bay Australian Football Club. Will be kicking from left to right, David.
Thank you. So Terrigal Avoca kicking right to left. Now, the conditions here, the ground is going to be a little bit greasy. There's been spitting rain most of the day. It has never been heavy. I think that judging by the way that Sarah Halverson, who's just produced a world-class performance to get her side over the Newcastle City Stars indoor grand final, marking's quite possible. No one's got umbrellas on. The ground's in okay condition. It's quite good and firm underfoot. There's no excuses here. I think if it rains, I think that helps Warners Bay because they can get something there, particularly someone like Ben Hunter. He will thrive on that.
Hunter Roach as well.
Particularly Hunter because he's an in-and-under player. And I like the thought of Hunter and Bishop spending some time on one another. That could be interesting. Ben's prone to putting on some heavy tackles, and Bishop's got a similar build of body and very experienced. So, look, this is going to be a really interesting game of football. Clearly, Terrigal Avoca, the minor premier, they've been dominant. Other than one performance where we saw them where they had an off day against Cardiff and Cardiff destroyed them. They've been superb this year, and very interesting to see how El goes about it. Our central umpires, Ryan, he wants us to call him Primetime Stanton, Lucas Holmes, so we'll call him what he truly deserves, and that's Prime Possum Stanton. Darryl Luck and Tom Stewart. Colin Goodenough, who was wearing an awful Hawthorns scarf earlier, and Ethan Robinson. Yeah. And exactly. And Jake Lowe, the boss man, and Jody Jackson in goals. Just about ready to go.
Some matchups, David. I'm just looking as this Terrigal Avoca team make their way to their positions. We'll get some matchups straight away for everybody.
Now, Crawley is in the centre in the ruck. Turner has gone straight to James Webster Lucas on the right-hand side of screen. Now, is that Matthew Spinks with his hair back on Bishop? It is. Yep. So, Spinks goes to Bishop. Crawley in the centre against Jasper Davis. Webster's just shaken hands with Hunter, but Hunter won't go to him. Grimmon's not in there. He's not in the centre at the moment. It's Delahunty on the other side. So Hunter and Delahunty are playing off each other. Turner's gone to Webster, Spinks to Bishop. So there's your starting matchups.
And Grimmon's off the back of the square, David, loose where Metcalf's going right now.
Okay, so...
Simons, rather. Zach Simons.
So rock and roll time, ladies and gentlemen. Preliminary final number 2 from Adelaide Street Oval in Tumbiumbi. Sudden death. Here's the siren. Davis and Crawley, and we are away. Crawley wins the first tap out. Davis ends up with the football. Hunter trying to pick it up. Gets first possession. Intercepted there by Shortall. Out of there comes Crawley. Picked off Webster. Left foot. Goes forward. Good mark there. Warner. Goes wide. Finds Nickel. Got pressure from Lamb. Good to see Lamb playing after he got hurt at Hillsborough a few weeks ago, Louis. Thought he might have been in trouble with an arm, but it ended up being a concussion. Although they did lose Xander White that day to a badly broken collarbone. And his mum showed me the photo's not good. And I hope Xander's recovering well. Davis and Crawley. Bishop off to Grimmin. Grimmin's pushed up to the ball now. Scoos coming in for the side. Lovely pluck. Really nice mark, Scoos. He's away. Low ball smothered. Deverell, Shortall and Luke Roach. It's crash ball. Grimmin low to the ground. Handball diving. Comes back out to Webster. Got some time. This is dangerous. Short ball. Picked off by Nick Metcalf. Comes out wide. Luke Roach looks at his options. Goes back t'other way and finds Cyril Nickel out here in half-back flank. Nickel comes down Combox side. Jason Van Dam's got the chance here. Right-hand handball. Goes backwards. Flint wide with a wide kick to Shortall's a beauty. Shortall goes forward. Looking for Scoos. And that's out of bounds.
And Shane in front of the boundary line by Scoos there. We'll have a boundary throw-in just forward of the centre wing, just slightly advantaging Terrigal Avoca. Once again, Davis and Crawley going to the ruck this time. Here we go. Crawley gets a left-handed tap out in the direction. Shortall wraps the tackle up straight away of Zach Simons, and we'll have another throw-in by umpire Stanton. Once again, Davis and Crawley nominate. Up the ball goes. Give that one to Davis over the top. Down. Kick forward quickly in the here we go. Tackled by Roach. Houston with balls. Roach gives a little shove in the back, not paid. There's Nickel. Gets the ball. Handballs out quickly to Crawley. Crawley evades one tackle. Gets a wedge down the line and is picked off there by Kurt Fleming. Fleming looks for that chipping ball into the middle for Bishop. Goes over Bishop's head. Lamb gets a soccer off the ground, gets a hands out. Simons is there. Goes across to Nickel, who's been prominent early. 3 or 4 touches already. In the centre for Spinks. Evades 2. Chipping ball wide for McGuinness. Loses his feet slightly and gets a free kick. Sort of lucky there, McGuinness, for holding. Plays on immediately. Goes to his trusty skipper in Turner. Turner goes inside forward 50. Simons does well with the spoil there. Tries to go on quickly and gets there. Is that Sorensen, actually? Sorensen? Yes, a mark for Ryan Sorensen for the Warners Bay Australian Football Club. About 30 metres out from goal.
He just did well down here in the half-forward flank off Workers.
He did very well. Lost his feet early, but then regained his feet. Did very well there. Did McGuinness. Sorensen. What can he do? Slow approach. Ryan Sorensen pushes it just to the right. Just hits the post. First score of the day for the Warners Bay Football Club. 1 point leading Terrigal Avoca. No score after 3.5 minutes, David.
Thank you. Bishop with kick-in duties, Lucas. Not unusual for Terrigal Avoca. Goes short. That's not a mark. Now danger.
Dragged.
Over the shoulder. Yep. So shoulder. And Fleming gets the free kick. Webster runs around him. Despite the back efforts of Kai McGrath. Down toward the baseball diamond. McKellar's leading the way. McGuinness will be too fast for him. And gets it out of bounds at the cage. Good start here so far, just getting themselves settled. 4 minutes gone. Adelaide Street Oval and Tumbledown. If you're in the area, come on down and watch some great preliminary final action. Lucas Hames and David Redden with you with our man Kendall Clawson from Bar TV. Fleming running past, couldn't pick it up. Hunter goes forward. We'll try and get a handball out to Spinks. Delahunty's in there. Davis is in and under. Jason Van Dam. Corey Devil can't pick it up. Spinks. Going to be tackled immediately, I think. Bishop's in there. Bear hugs him. And Ryan Stanton says that'll be mine. On the half-forward flank, about 6 or 7 metres past in front of the forward 50 arc. Warners Bay attacking end of the ground. Crawley and Davis. Davis a good leaper. Gets that one. Turner. Ball skews out of there. And away goes Grimmin. Puts the speed on, goes down the line. Lovely spot to Brandon Thomas, who is a very quick leader. Good player, Thomas. Smart footballer. Underneath that went Sam Ellis. Probably he's missed a few weeks, maybe a bit rusty. Picked off by Fleming, who's another very important late in for Terrigal Avoca in the back end of the season. Jason Van Dam, short. Finds Scoos. Goes long. 2-on-2. Stewart. Pete Van Dam just misses the mark. Good effort, Warner. Does very well at ground level, Riley Warner, and gets the ball down to the half-back flank. Hunter uses body strength to get McKellar out of it. Again, puts a tackle on McKellar and then bumps up again. 3 efforts, Ben, and also an effort there from Kai McGrath, out of bounds on centre wing.
Did very well there. Ben Hunter was out of position and used his body strength, as he so often does, to get back in position. Yeah, Davis and Crawley once again. Watch Davis try and go over the top. Just Davis with his right hand. Quick hat kick forward. Crash ball here. McGuinness is in there. Van Dam comes storming through. Jason that time goes right forward trying to get the ball to him one-on-one. 2 one-on-ones there. Nickel once again picking up the scraps. Gets a Shepherd there. Goes to the outer side. Here's Gibbons. Gibbons trying to trap the ball. Corey Deverill does his best to imply Shepherd. However, Lamb gets the ball there for Terrigal Avoca. Gets his kick smothered immediately. Butters up for more. Gets his hands up. Ball's ripped out. McGuinness is there. Fleet of foot. McGuinness gets around. Gets the ball in front. Gets a small chipping ball in the forward line. Sorensen also very evasive. Loses his footing. Gets his handball inside. Turner applies a tackle. Gets a quick kick out there. Gibbons is on it once again. Gets his handball out. This is very frenetic at this stage. But Jason Van Dam relieves the situation and goes along down the line in the direction of his brother Peter. Goes inside. Warner there, body on the line. Same with Luke Roach. Spinks has his head over the football. Gets his hands up. Riley Warner comes back on his left foot this time. 2-on-1. And the free kick's going the way for a hold. And the advantage is taken by Nickel. Here we go. Hardman gets harassed. Gets his handball out. Evades 2. Deverill gets his hands. He's got a high tackle. Free kick for the Warners Bay Football Club. Corey Deverill in front about 40 metres out from goal, David. And you've got something?
Yes, I've got Ben Lamb to the left of screen. He's coming off and hobbling, and it's his right leg or ankle that's in trouble. So Ben Lamb coming off, that's not a good sign, and he's going to be replaced, Louis, by Brendan Harper. Thank you. So it's Corey Deverill. He's going to be kicking from 50, 40 metres, something like that, once he takes the kick if he's smart. He's going to be well inside the arc. Fred can't go much closer. And he can go next to Jake Roach, though, because Jake Roach is close. Deverill for the first goal of the match. Shanks it right. And another behind to Warners Bay. Warners Bay up for this at the moment, Lucas, playing quite well.
They are. 2
behinds Warners Bay. 7 3/4 minutes gone. Terrigal Avoca yet to score. Lamb trying to walk out that ankle, and it's a problem for him. Struggling right underneath combox.
Flint did well then, just quickly as Bishop goes straight down the guts from the kick out to man up Roach, who would look around the back to try and get that long running goal.
And that's what you were pointing out, I understand now. Poglaze goes long. Pete Van Dam knows, called out of that by Houston. Houston's within kicking range. He's going to go short. Finding Sam Ellis, backing back, and Sam Ellis is in a great spot to kick a goal. He's going to end up kicking from about 33 or 35 metres out. Smack bang in front, no angle at all, and it's perfectly still. It's actually pretty good weather for football. No wind at all, and it's dry. So Sam Ellis for the first goal of the game, probably from about 38 or 40 up. Seemed to get a good piece of it. Pulled it left, so first score to Terrigal Avoca. The Panthers are 1 behind. Warners Bay 2 behinds. And we've got elapsed time. We've got 8 3/4 minutes gone.
Metcalf with a kick out from Warners Bay, David. And he goes along the direction of Jake Roach. Roach gets up, almost early, unrealistic, but gets a free kick for a hold. For a push out against Sam Ellis. Roach surveying his options. He'll go long, surely. He does. Over the back there, he's kicking to Corey Deverill, which I find a bit amazing, though. Josh Nickel gets it out the back into Hardman. What can Hardman do? Breaks one tackle with strength. However, the handball goes out in the direction of McKellar, who hands off to Bayless. Gibbons is in the sit for this one, and he'll look to go inside.
It was really interesting there. Ben Hunter did work on Shortle underneath, and Shortle complained about it. Back to you, Lucas.
He goes inside with that kickers, but finds Jason Van Dam, who will switch out the other side. Here they go. Jack Grimmond watching tuck under. This will be interesting. Spinks and Grimmond. Grimmond just has the edge on him this time. What great mark taken there by Van Dam, almost vertical to the ground, outstretched and diving in front of the cage. Goes back to that 45-degree kick to his brother Jason. Jason goes along with that raking left foot down the corridor. Very well there, Roach. Get a spool over the top. Shortle gets a kick off the ground towards the pocket. Is it going to stay in the direction of Scoos? It doesn't, and we'll have a boundary throw in about 25 or 30 metres around from defensive goal for Warners Bay, David, with 10 minutes gone.
Thank you. So, very low scoring to start off with. Warners Bay 2 behinds. Terrigal Local 1 behind. Boundary throw in comes in. Tap down. Down from Nick Metcalf, down the line. Deverell in a one-on-one contest. They don't want... Lucas was right. They can't afford to hit him high with Flint all day. Bishop trying to take a mark one-handed. Off the hands. Oh, no, I thought that might have been smothered, but Luke Roach has been paid the mark. He's going to go wide and short. Finds Jake Roach. Good to see Jake playing without bandages on that previously damaged leg. Nick Metcalf gets the ball, so Warner's Bay going about it a systematic way. Just short chip at the moment. Told to play on. Finds Jake Roach right down the back pocket in front of the Terrigal Avoca faithful on the hill.
He'll go long surely now, David.
I think he's trapped, yeah. I think he pretty much has to go down the line, right as close as he can to the boundary line. Goes long. Jason Van Em tries to take the mark at the back. Harper. Jack Grimman puts the speed on, goes wide. Jake Roach, good use of the body against Webster. Jake will be happy with that.
Could go short to Spinks, but was picked up by Creswell soon after.
Probably going to have to come down the line again. That's what he's saying. You know, he's found someone in the centre. This will be interesting. Can he get someone? Goes across. Cyril Nichols there. McGrath. Over with Bayless. They've got to stay on their feet. Josh Nicholl, who's been very good early. Now Hardman's got a chance. Can he put the speed on and get balanced? Jack Hardman, first goal of the day. That's the type of play that Marty Ryman wants. Hardman one out and gets the crumbing goal. Warners Bay 1-2-8, Terrigal Avoca 1 point. Lucas Holmes.
Hunter Haval, looking for a feature-packed premium SUV for your family? Check out Hunter Haval and the range of affordable SUVs. Starting from just $22,990 drive away with a 5-year warranty and 5 years roadside assistance. Hunter Haval will give you more. Book your test drive today.
What a good crumbing goal from Hardman. Josh Nichols had a very good start, hasn't he? He's got a lot of possessions early, Lucas.
At least half a dozen touches around the contest, which we saw Ash Haylor doing expertly in the last game, crumbing.
Yes, she did. And Turner's doing an effective job so far on Jimmy Webster. So away we go. Into the ruck goes...
Might be Dennis.
I think it might be Dennis. I think you're right. So Dennis is going to give Crawley a rest during the day. Matt Spinks left-footed, gets it out. Flint and Deverell. Now, Deverell should have the speed, but Flint's read that well. Deverell goes wide over towards the baseball area, and that might be out of bounds on the full. Good harassment by Corey Deverell. And Sam Gibbons is going to take the kick over there right on centre wing in front of a decent crowd here at Adelaide Street Oval. Gibbons goes short, smothered by Scoos expertly. Jake Roach picks it up. Will go back to Gibbons, I'd imagine. Crash ball coming, and they get... Jake Roach runs back. He's got a lot of touches in the last few minutes. Deverell. That is an interesting matchup, Flint on Deverell. Surely you'd be kicking it to Corey in space and keeping it low, Lucas.
Very much like they did to Hardman for that entry inside forward 50, David. Low and to the ground. Hardman and Deverell both very good below their knees.
Agreed. Lucas Holmes.
Here we go. Thank you, David. Dennis this time. Davis in front. Gets it down to Turner, in fact, and goes to Vo. And taken on the second grab but not paid there was the mark around from... Is that... No. McClure's come on, David.
Thank you.
And Spinks goes short stabbing ball back to McClure and is pushed in the back. Will there be a 50 paid? No. Just paid for the push. Kobe McClure taking the mark. Mark's probably 45 to 42 metres out from goal, David. Fairly angled.
I'll test him.
Yeah.
He's going to take his very best kick. It is perfect conditions. It's dried up a bit. The ball won't be heavy, but it's an angled kick. It's a long kick. This will really test him. I can see this landing in the square. We'll just see how it goes, Louis. McClure to put Warner's Bay second on the board. Got a fair bit of that. Pulled it left, I reckon. So, another behind. Warner's Bay 139. Terrigal Avoca 1 behind. Elapsed time is 14 minutes, and it'll be about 14 and a half minutes by the time this ball comes in. Double huddle for Terrigal Avoca. Lucas Holmes is just waving around. I can see it happening. Bishop sprung it. There's no one on the mark, so James Webster's gone. They did everything except the man on the mark, and it's gone straight to Bishop. Good football, Terrigal Avoca. Route 140. Stewart's coming across. Can he get there? He does. Now he'll look for give off short, and he actually gives off with hands. Best way for Lincoln Stewart to get rid of the football, I can assure you. James Webster reads that best, however, in front of McGuinness. And Webster's got the football, one of his first most important possessions of the day. Off one step, goes short to Thomas. Stewart gets back and legally interferes. Bishop taps it away. Luke Roach, fair bump on Bishop. Right across the chest. Nothing wrong with that. Across comes Thomas. Across comes Warner. Uses strength. And a high tackle decision given against Thomas to Warner deep in that back pocket. Score check. Warner's Bay 139. Terrigal Avoca 0-1.
Thank you, David. Free kicks for Riley Warner deep in the back pocket here for Warner's Bay. You'd expect him to go long down the line. You wouldn't want him to go across goals that deep in your back line. Who have they got on this near side? Leading is Simons, trying to lead towards the boundary. So is McKenna. McKenna's got the lead. They might go that way, though. Van Dam's close quarters. It's gone over the back. Webster's got the sit here. The land comes back in the side, and he's back on the ground, which is good. Webster with the mark. Out muscles. Is that Roach it is. Luke Roach gets the ball to ground, buddies his own ball, but in fact goes straight back to James Webster. Webster looking to go inside. Was that 50 metres, David?
Jason Van Dam was after it, and it must have been close because he was over the mark. Look, Jake Roach should have been paid, not. Luke Roach picks it up, soccers it. Anyone's ball, really. Through comes Simons. Bayliss reads it best. Gets a kick out the wing, should be bread and butter. Cyril Nichols almost the best player on the ground. I mean, he's got 8 or 9 touches. Webster's coming to his own again. Scoose, expert on the market, will get a free kick. So well played by Scoose. Nichols, not his best passage of play once he got in possession. Scoose.
And Webster's on for him inboard if he wants, but he doesn't go, David. He goes a lot further than that.
Right down the throat of Jason Van Dam, who stayed forward. Looking for short balls. Comes for a short pass. Well done by Warner on Thomas. Needs to get rid of it now, however, does. Jason Van Dam, a worm-burning handball. Out from Hunter. Off to his mate Roach. That's Jake. McClure's got to stay on his feet. Does enough. It stays on his feet. He gets the ball out of bounds right on true centre wing. Now, there's something happening in the back play here, Lucas.
If Roach or Hunter isn't involved, I'll be very surprised, David.
Yes, it's behind play. Now, the umpire's got the ball. What I don't know is if the play's going back to centre-half back, that would indicate that it's a free kick against Warners Bay. And it is. So there's a free kick here being given to Scoos. Is it Gibbons talking to the umpire?
McKenna.
It's McKenna. Hunter's over here looking like he's got not a care in the world. So it looks like it's against McKenna. And this kick will go to Mark Scoos. I would suggest he'll be kicking from right on 50. He is a nice kick of the football. Very sure kicker. This will test him for distance. I wonder if he'll wait and look for a short option running in, Lucas.
Is there anyone sitting at the top of the square for Warner's Bay to cut off that space? It doesn't look like it. There is now. Roach has gone back there.
Yes, Luke's gone back. Gets a good bit of that Scoos. Can they smother it? Touched by Stewart. Dangerous area. Lachlan Devils in all sorts in there. Umpire says mine. Really dangerous. Cyril Nichols was saying that should have gone back. Houston and Lachlan Devil were new acquaintances. So this can't be tapped through by Warners Bay. They've got to be smart. Oh, gets down to Luke Roach. Can they get out of here? Scoos, good body by Spinks. Out there comes Fleming. They need a stoppage and get one. So, elapsed time, 18.5 minutes. Warners Bay in front by 8 points. Terrigal like it to score a goal, Lucas. That's interesting.
They are. But they're keeping the ball inside forward 50 now for long periods. You'd expect them to get a few more repeat entries as well. Dennis that time. Van Dam looks to hit it over his head. Roach gets a long ball out to space. Terrigal Avoca have got 3 or 4 numbers at the ground. It's 4-on-2. Steps inside Flint from the Shepherd there. Goes to Lamb. The handball's out, goes to ground. Deverell was there, but it's holding to Fleming. Mark's been set, so he could have played on. But doesn't,
Deverell
David.
did really well. Actually, beat 3 men down here. Lucas, keep going. Deverell beat 3 men.
Thank you. Fleming goes to the outer side. Great kick there. Good lead. Is that Scoos again, David? Thomas, rather. Thank you. He turns around. Brandon Thomas getting put back around on his angle by umpire Stanton. Lachlan Deverell on the mark. As you said, David, there's that match-up as well.
And just explain to viewers why Luke Roach is allowed inside that 10-metre zone, Lucas.
Because he's within 2 metres of Ben Lamb, David. That's why.
Thank you.
Brandon Thomas, what can he do? Good pictures here on Kendall's camera. Starts at left, Dave. Is it working back? It is. It's going to fall short. Was marked, but punched through for a point. Second point for Terrigal Avoca. Trailing Warners Bay 1 goal 3-9 after 20 minutes of elapsed time as Roach goes immediately to the outer side.
Almost an excellent mark there to McGrath. Now, Terrigal Avoca a chance here. Getting that ball. I think that might have been Creswell's got the headband. Just sees it out of bounds. Warners Bay will be very pleased with their defensive effort so far in the first 20 minutes, Lucas Holmes. Keeping Terrigal Avoca goalless. I know there are a lot of plans on both sides here. Both coaches are known to do their homework. So, look, good start to this game. Very intriguing. Low scoring. Van Dam, as he often does, goes inside. Ben Hunter goes as long as he can. Jason Van Dam appears to have read this best, and he misses the mark. Nickel gets shepherded out of it. McGuinness a chance. Couldn't pick it up, the old Cougs. Nickel again will look for a handball out. Oh, well done, Cyril Nickel. Gets that down the line. This strange matchup with Deverill. They've got to start thinking about that Warners Bay and get that low to Corey Deverill, not high. It's Grimman flying through the middle. Straight down the spine. Houston in front of Stewart. Well done, Dan Houston. I'm sorry, it's Harper. Beats his man. He's got players on up here. Devil's got a punch, does, on Thomas. Through goes Warner. Tackled immediately by Thomas and Pete Van Dam. And we have a stoppage. 21 minutes into the game. Terrigal Avoca down by 7 points. Lucas.
Here's the youngster. Dennis will go up in the ruck this time against the very experienced Pete Van Dam. Will he go inside? No, goes to the outer side. Down to Roach, in fact. Roach dribbles the ball along the boundary line. Goes to nobody. Finds Polglaze, however. Polglaze loads up and goes deep inside forward 50. Van Dam nearly gets a mark. Bishop crumbing! Misses to the outer side. 3rd point now for Terrigal Avoca. Still trailing Warners Bay 1 goal 3-9 after 21 and 3/4 minutes, David.
Yes, a lot of the play that you were saying, you were talking about 3 or 4 minutes ago, repeat entries. There's been a lot of repeat entries, and Warners Bay really need to clear the lines. This is the play to do it is Jake Roach, because you can hit the centre. He's going to go straight down the centre, Lucas, at Route 1 football attacking. Almost a great mark there, but not paid. Crawley's been off for a while, just quietly. Now on the run here, Simons. Handball off to Nick Metcalf, will get onto his left. Straight down the middle. Beautiful work, and that's exactly what we've been talking about. Deverill in space, low driving ball, Lucas.
Yeah, it was a marking contest, but Deverill had 1 or 2 metres of space in front, and therefore gets the ball and takes it safely on his chest.
And the thing was, it didn't give Flint a chance to get underneath it. It was a low driving ball. Okay, so we're going to have Deverill kicking from about 30 metres out. It's the angle more than the distance that'll concern Corey, just as to go through his process.
Very high hands on the ball. He has Corey Deverill as normal. It's going to fade away.
And does. So Warners Bay 1-4-10, Terrigal Avoca 0-3-3, and we have about 2 minutes left in the quarter. And so far, so good for Warners Bay. Terrigal Avoca just going through, figuring out how they're going to go through the rest of the game. They've had a lot of repeat entries. Bishop straight down the spine. Dangerous ball. Jake Roach reads it. So did James Webster. Webster's going to get the footy. Goes square. Expertly finds out Lockie Bayless out there on the half-back flank. Bayless goes short and does find Kurt Fleming. Such a valuable player for them, Fleming. Utility, can play various roles. Goes wide again. Good mark, Pete Van Dam in front of Warner. Van Dam's got a height advantage over Warner. Warner's probably going to get him at ground level, Lucas. That's an interesting battle. Van Dam down the line. Almost a one-hander. Stewart's got to do something with that football. Doesn't want to. It's dragged out somehow. Yes, that was McKenna. And he's going to get pinged. Tackle mate. Is that Bayless or Grimmond? It's Bayless. Give the ball back on the full. Does. All legit. So Bayless just in front of centre wing. Terrigal Avoca need a late goal. About a minute left in this quarter. Going back into the pack bravely was Warner. Shortle screws it over his shoulder. They'll probably end up with a stoppage. No, it bounces on its end. Lamb gets the football. Well tackled Nickel. Well tackled Gibbons. Don't give him a chance to get rid of the football. And Ryan Stanton's got a ball up. Got about 30 seconds left in the quarter. Warners Bay do not want to give up a late one. They've been very good this quarter. But Bishop tackled out of that. Lamb onto his left. Doesn't get purchase on it. That's Webster with his left. And it's going to be behind. So Terrigal Avoca's 4th behind. Terrigal Avoca 0-4-4. Warners Bay 1-4-10. So Warners Bay up by 1 straight kick. Just at the end of the quarter. Warners Bay in absolutely no hurry. If you'd have told them they were 1 goal up at quarter time, I'd have thought that Warners Bay would have taken that, Lucas. Nick Metcalf's got the football here. Siren about to go. And there it is. There's quarter time. So Terrigal Avoca 4 behinds. And Warners Bay 1 goal, 4 behinds, with Jack Hardman the only goal of the quarter. Lucas, before a quick break.
From Warners Bay perspective, firstly, David, Marty Ryman will be thrilled with the start, not giving a goal away to Terrigal Avoca in this first quarter, but will be on his troops for sure about sustaining a 4-quarter effort. 1 good quarter is not going to be good enough to beat this very well-drilled Terrigal Avoca side, David.
Thank you, Lucas. Back with you shortly from Adelaide Street, Overland Tumbiumbi. Back with you at Adelaide Shirt Oval in Tumbiumbi after our resident apprentice sound engineer Lucas Holmes has fixed the sound up. And Kendall's going to come and make sure that he's done a good job. Thank you, Kendall. So, Warners Bay up by one straight kick. So, earlier today, ladies and gentlemen, Terrigal Avoca qualified for the Plate Grand Final with a 70-point win over Killarney Vale in the Black Diamond Plate. And in a cracking game of women's football, Newcastle City Stars really stood up after a superb performance from Sarah Halverson. 4 goals and clearly the best player on the ground for the Stars. Well supported by Taylor Braithwaite, who started off quietly and finished off well in the second half. The class of Ash Haler. And Kirsty Ferguson, who I think played one of the best games I've seen her play in 2 years. She was terrific today. And the Stars comfortably defeated the Killarney Vale. So we have grand finals next week, which we can confirm. In the Black Diamond Plate, it will be Terrigal Avoca and Newcastle City, the old firm. And into the women's, an absolutely cracking fixture. The Wyong Lakes Football Club in their first women's grand final against the Newcastle City Stars. And we think that the Stars might have 1 or 2 more players available. The one in particular who is pivotal to them is Amy Marshall. Even if she's 3/4 right, I think she'll have a run, Lucas. And then, of course, the Black Diamond Cup grand final will be played between Newcastle City and the winner of today's preliminary final. Lucas, over to you.
It will, David. Thank you very much. Both sides getting last-minute instructions from their respective coaches. In front there, you'll find Chris Bishop. Martin giving his instructions there to his troops. Likewise, Marty Ryman to the further left of screen. Terrigal Avoca breaking now, and Warners Bay will follow soon after.
Interesting, that looks like a football over here on crutches with a broken left ankle. I'm not sure, I can't quite tell who that is.
Is that Sam O'Brien?
You know what that is? That's Sam O'Brien. Goodness me. So I didn't realise Sam was in such a bad way. I knew that they'd lost Sander, but Sam, he's not out there. So, okay, so players are broken. Just waiting from their huddles. And in the middle goes the same starting 4, Louis. Jasper Davis, Christopher Bishop, James Webster and Will Delahunty. Umpire Stewart will have the ball to control. The far side is Ryan Stanton.
And Grimmon's gone back to start with the back of the square once again.
Clearly a tactic there. Warners Bay, the same for Hunter. Spinks going straight to Bishop. Hunter onto Webster. And correction. Turner onto Webster. And Hunter and Delahunty will run a free of each other. Crawley, so the starting ruckman back in the middle. Interesting for my that they Crawley did not play a significant part of the second half of that second quarter. First quarter, I beg your pardon. Siren from Wazza. And we're away. Crawley, beaten by Davis. Right footer from Bishop misses. Crawley. Hunter, good body strength. Link Stewart gets a kick in the centre. What's he doing in there? Oh, good turn on his by McKenna. Gets it going forward. Got to be in front. Warners Bay. Good grab. Paid. Polglaze, I think. Good player, Polglaze. Got the gloves on. James Webster running backwards. Getting a kick. Lovely delivery. Is that 50 against Jake Roach? It's not. Away goes Grimond. Roach really chased hard there. Could be a mark and not almost to McKenna. Not paid. Bishop puts his head over the ball. McKenna. Hurried kick out. Good mark, Hunter. Great strong hands. Short immediately. Just over Hardman's head. They've got to get it right to Jack. Jack's got a chance now. Grimmon's missed. Wonderful tackle, Fleming. Roach puts a big Dustin Martin on Grimmond. Now, is there a score? It's out of bounds in the fall. Thank you, Lucas. So, after a minute, Warners Bay still leading by a goal.
That'd be great to watch, David, in the open. Jack Hardman and Jack Grimmond, that would be something to watch.
Totally agree. Over to you, mate.
There we go. I've got the TV right in front of me. I might as well use it. Free kick down deep in the back pocket. Great mark there, flying. Corbin Bond.
That's a cracker. Gee, that's a good mark.
Overhead with these slightly greasy conditions as well. Great mark. Bond on that left. Low stabbing kick in the direction of Kurt Fleming. Fleming unable to take the mark. Out in front from the kick around the corner is Scoos. Scoos goes inboard. Who's there? Of course there is. Is that Fleming, David? Looking for Thomas. Brandon Thomas spoils the mark. Metcalf close. It gets the fend back to Sorensen. Sorensen playing back now. Ryman's sprung a switch. And out of bounds is fourth there. So
Bit of a scuffle in back play, Lucas, that you didn't see. You were watching the play. Jason Van Dam and Link Stewart having a bit of a scuffle. Nothing serious in it, but just saw that behind play. Pete Van Dam will try and tap this inside. He doesn't. He misses it. I think that's going to be a free kick against Crawley, and that's dangerous. So Pete Van Dam's going to have a shot at goal here from approximately 45 metres out. Reasonable angle. Lucas Holmes will get the projector out and tell us the exact angle. No, we won't go there today. So Lucas Holmes, I reckon that'll be a 45, 50-degree angle. And Van Dam has kicked goals here before, I'll tell you. He's done it in rep football as well. You'll hear him in Terrigal if he kicks this goal. The great man. Gets a piece of it. Thought it might have gone off to the right. It's touched. Touched at the last effort by Riley Warner. 5 behind the Terrigal Avoca. They have 0-5-5. Warner's Bay 1-4-10.
Houston had engaged with the last Warner's Bay defender, but Warner did very well to spoil at the last line, as you said. Roach is out by himself, but Bayless picks him up at the last minute.
Jake Roach, right down the line. Lachlan Deverell's got the sit here. He stays down. Kept in. Lamb now out of bounds. And it'll be a throw-in just next to the interchange gates. Jasper Davis and Ben Crawley's coming across. He's got the big bandage on that right leg. I wonder if he's got a cork on his outside of his right leg, lower leg there. It's a big bandage.
Would explain why he's been off as well, David.
Yep. So, slightly wounded, but that's this time of year. That's to be expected, Lucas. In and under is Hunter. And umpire Darryl Luck says, I'll have that. I beg your pardon, it wasn't Hunter, it was Simons doing the argy-bargy stuff. Crawley and Davis. Crawley wins that one. He's doing quite well today, Crawley in the rucks. Spinks can't get free. Gets a handball out eventually. Great tackle on Webster. Gone. Jake Wright should go. Does. Straight down the middle. He's looking for Hardman. Hardman's got a chance. He's being matched up by Bond. Flint comes across to help. Corey Deverell. Jack Hardman. Steps. Goal coming. Another goal, Warners Bay. Again, this is what Warners Bay want. Jack Hardman out on his own. Great work, Corey Deverell. Warners Bay, 2-4-16. Terrigal Avoca 5 behind. Lucas James home.
Belmont 16-footer Sailing Club. Located on the picturesque Lake Macquarie, Belmont 16s is one of the premier venues in the Hunter region, offering the very best in dining, promotions and entertainment. For all the latest news and promotions, visit 16s.com.au or find us on Facebook, the home of the Black Diamond AFL. It was a great night on Wednesday night, the 2018 Elliott Davey Medal presentation night, Dave. Big congratulations to all the award winners and nominees, as well as all the volunteers that make our league such a great one. And shout out to Tim Ulsterhoff from the Killarney Vale Football Club winning the 2018 Elliott Davey Medal.
And Kyle Brave from Musselbrook from the Granville Medal, and the GE Women's Medal shared between Erin White from the Novas and Ashley Haler from the Stars. They were our best and fairest winners. Jasper Davis clearly. Webster grabs that one down one-handed. Does it with sumptuous ease at times. This should... Oh, no. Houston hit Thomas there. Warners Bay putting pressure on. Webster flying through the middle. Now comes the pressure. He'll finish. Misses. Wow. Just enough pressure put on at the end there by Simons and possibly Luke Roach. So Terrigal Avoca 6 behinds Lucas Holmes. 6 behinds. And Warners Bay 2-4-16.
Sprung another change in the ruck. Lachlan Dennis now going back into the middle to match up against Jasper Davis, David.
And Ben Crawley is wounded over here. He is struggling to walk on that right leg. If you can just see him through the window here, he's doing a bit of... He's really struggling. So you wonder whether Crawley will be back today. He's wounded. Metcalf straight down the spine. A lovely looking kick. Jake Roach is looking very confident at the moment with his hands. One of the best players on the ground so far. Got to get rid of that football. That's a good tackle.
High has been paid.
It's been paid high against Polglaze. Gee. Lachlan Deverell up on the half-forward flank. Unusual for him. Looking to sweep right. Told to play on. Looking for Hardman. Pushing the back.
Yeah.
Must be.
Yeah.
Corbin Bond. Not very happy. And is he going for 50? No. You want to keep his mouth quiet. Ryan Stanton's explaining what's going on. I reckon Hardman held up. And it was pretty clever of Hardman.
And you can just see in front of us there, David, there's the conjunction of the 50 and the square. So he's well in range, Jack Hardman, as you'd expect.
I reckon Hardman's one of those blokes, Lucas Holmes, to be honest, that would rather take a shot at goal on the run.
Yes.
Sometimes his goal kicking from set shots can be a little bit skew-if. He's going to kick just inside 50 for his third. He's hit that okay. That's a goal. Another goal, Jack Hardman. And Warners Bay now 3 goals, 4-22. And Terrigal Avoca 6 behind. This is a real surprise so far.
GE Industrial Solutions, partnering with the mining community in the Hunter for the past 50 years, delivering safe and reliable electrical equipment and engineering services to our customers. Also a proud sponsor of the BDAFL women's competition, which, as we mentioned earlier, David, will be a grand final next week, 12 o'clock, the Wyong Lakes and the Newcastle City Stars.
Okay, some changes in the middle. Webster's gone out the centre. Ellis into the ruck with Delahunty. Lachlan Dennis from Warners Bay. Brandon Thomas back to square. And Spinks is still covering Bishop. Dennis wins that one. Down to Spinks. Dennis gets it out. Should be marked there by Kurt Fleming in front of McGrath and Was. Comes wide. Webster now in the forward line. Lovely handball. Finds Creswell. Delahunty very quickly gets it away. Scoos the quality player. Ellis get ground level. Chance for Warners Bay. Tries to step his man. He's gone. Should have been gone for having a prior. Riley Warner gets that ball out. Big ball here. Hunter will look for a handball. Another one coming from Turner. Over to Metcalf on his natural foot. Lachlan Deverell, well punched out by Polglaze. That's another interesting matchup. There'd be 6 inches difference between Lachlan Deverell and Polglaze. And that's really interesting that Deverell's gone forward, Lucas, for mine.
On a half-forward flank. He's very good marking above his head. That may be a reason why as well, David.
Good work, Louis. Bishop gets a very good ruck work from Sam Ellis. Bet you they've done that 1,000 times. Dennis, who's starting to get a couple of kicks, having influence replacing Crawley. Lachlan Deverell, good low driving tackle on Lamb. Hunter might be pinged for a push in the back on Jack Grimmin and has been. Jason Van Dam wants to go argy-bargy with Hunter. I would back out of that, Jason. Ben Hunter is not, the steam train's not a man you want to mess with. And that's downfield. That's silly. Blatantly silly. And they're coming in now. I'll let Lucas worry about that. I'll worry about the footy. Webster, driving ball. Lovely marks. Lovely work, Scoos. Luke Roach is covering. Oh, poor kick from Scoos, really. Well read by Nicholas Turner. Looking for players running wide. It's a one-on-one contest out here. And well done, Delahunty. He's got that to ground in front of Sorensen. Still Harper, sorry. It's to Harper. Looking for Scoos and gets him in front of Luke Roach. Bishop running off him. There's a scuffle there, and there's a free kick going Warners Bay's way, right in front of the baseball cage. Now, Luke Roach is in there. I'm sure I saw the umpire's hand go back to Warners Bay. Brandon Thomas wants to continue on. So does Sorensen.
That does mean it's a downfield kick, David.
Yeah, right. He's actually I'm sorry. I thought that was a Warners Bay free kick. It's not. So it's a downfield free, probably against Luke Roach. And Matthew Shortall is going to have a relatively comfortable shot at goal. Bit of an angle, only 20 metres out. Marty Ryman will not have been instilling his players. They've got to be disciplined today. That's the first act of indiscipline. Shortall, who's usually a good kick, to get Terrigal Avoca's goal scoring on the board. Shortall gets it up in the air and finishes. Matthew Shortall, Terrigal Avoca's first goal. 1-6-12 and Warners Bay 3-4-22. Lucas Holmes.
ISC have been at the cutting edge of designing and manufacturing apparel for elite sporting teams for over 20 years and are proud to be the official apparel partner of the Black Diamond AFL. Another indiscretion downfield free kick there against Warners Bay. As you said, David, Marty Ryman will be incensed with that. We'll try and drill that out of his opponents. And first goal for Terrigal Avoca, 1-6. First goal for Matt Shortall after 10 3/4 minutes here in this second quarter. Back to the middle now. Brandon Thomas going to the centre as well, David. Dennis and Sam Ellis. Sam Ellis will have the height advantage here, and he's a bigger body than Lockie Dennis. Spinks and Bishop. That's a mouth-watering contest as well. Give that one to Ellis. Straight down to Bishop. Roach gets rid of him afterwards. Not paid, however. Terrigal Avoca have got the numbers behind the football. Here they go. Is that Polglaze, David, with a glove?
It is.
Thank you. With the glove on his right hand, Polglaze goes short, chipping ball.
Brave.
Back goes, McKenna that time
McKenna.
in front of Grimmin. Grimmin puts on another Shepherd in front of McGrath. Down and gets a handball out back to Grimmin. Back once more. Long ball to this outer side in front of Bayless. Will the boundary line beat them? Great Shepherd there. Both from Turner and Bayless.
I'm just wondering if that's gone out on the full from Nick Turner. And has. There was an accidental kick, but it went out. I just spotted it there, and I was just wondering if someone had picked it up. Stanton picked it up. So thank you, Lucas. Lachlan Bayless, Terrigal Avoca, wanting to get back to parity by half-time. Jake Roach is looking very confident today. He's all over the shop. Gets a grubber out, probably his only option, out of bounds near the home baseline area of the baseball diamond. 12 minutes gone, about halfway through quarter number 2. Warners Bay up by 10 points. Terrigal Avoca inaccurate shooting, 1 goal 6. Ellis gets that out. Well done by McGrath. Bounces poorly for Jason Van Dam. Sorensen swoops like a thief in the night and hits Hardman. Now this is dangerous. Let's see what Hardman can do, Louis. Tight in the pocket and hits it behind this time. Warners Bay 3-5-23. Terrigal Avoca 1-6-12. 12.5 minutes elapsed time. Lucas Holmes.
Thank you, David. Kick out coming this time from Bishop, as we've seen before with Matt Spinks on the mark. Will he go down the middle, Bishop? Surveying his options. Ben Lamb's there. No, in fact, he goes longer to this commentary box side, looking for Jason Van Dam. Luke Roach comes over the top and spoils it out of bounds, directly from the kick out. Boundary throw into this near side. With 13 minutes gone in this second quarter, David, Warners Bay leading by 11 points. 3 goals 5 to 1 goal 6. Throw comes in, hits the ground. There goes Delahunty in there. Quick stabbing kick out. Grimmon's in the open, doesn't tuck under his arm, goes long and quick in the direction of Shortle. Metcalf's there for company. Gibbons with running off of Scoos. Gibbons gets it, goes 1-2, almost can still with Metcalf. Ignores him, goes long inside forward 50. Goes over the head of McGrath. Gets a handball out, not played. Still in deep inside Warners Bay's forward 50. Grimmon gets the ball out, handballs to Scoos. Scoos can take time, gets a long wobbling kick in the direction of Webster. Webster's got Turner for company as he will all afternoon. Stewart trying to corral Webster. Webster too quick on his left, turns around. Creswell was open in the goal square, but Webster went for the kick and missed. Terrigal Avoca 7 behind, 1-7-13, leading Warners Bay, trailing Warners Bay, 3-5-23, David.
Terrigal Avoca certainly have a lot of football. It's 8 scoring shots each, just a bit more accurate shooting for Warners Bay. Jack Hardman kicking a couple of goals from point-blank range makes a difference. I'm being impressed with Metcalf today. I think he's played very smart. Simons going as long as he can. Jake Roach at the back. Red best by a touch actually off Flint's boot. A bit slow. Delahunty. Warners Bay really making an effort today. They're really putting everything into this game. And gone. Good tackle. Jake Roach has been terrific today. That's almost a little trip from Harper. And Roach will be well advised to go to Lachlan Dennis. I thought he was on his own. Jason Van Dam's got him. He'll go down the line. Going to a one-on-two contest now. Oh, Sorensen goes up, he makes contact with the football and gets a stoppage on half-forward flank. It's interesting to me that Terrigal Avoca are being shackled. They're just not getting a chance to play open footy, Lucas.
And Jasper Davis has come on and we'll take this ruck contest. Back, David.
Thank you. And wins it clearly, although it's picked off by Hunter. Creswell underneath, interesting handball. Now, chance here for a crash ball. Dennis does the job, gets a stoppage. Here's a chance. Can Hunter get out of there? He does. Just a little grubby kick, but gets it out. Webster's going to look for the football. He's gone square, however, and ignored Webster. Jason Van Dam, that's dangerous. He's away. Usually a good user. Short ball falls a bit short, actually. Riley Warner's got to get rid of that football. That's almost a sling tackle. Stewart will go out to Cyril Nichol out here at half-back. He spotted a man. Oh, that's dangerous. And a push.
Yep.
Yeah, Brandon Thomas has used his hands. Now he's got to give it back. And away it goes to Luke Roach. So that's a nut. There's some interesting height matchups in this game. Luke Roach on Brandon Thomas, I would never have guessed that. 1-on-3 contest, they get a stoppage, Warners Bay. Metcalf, who's been very handy, flies down the left. They want a stoppage here in front of Lachlan White. They want that ball to continue on, and they get exactly the right result. And off comes James Webster for a rest. So the other thing is that Bishop's had average influence. Creswell's been quiet. Grimmon's been good. The matchups, like Polglaze on Lachlan Devil, that's really interesting.
Well, they put the body on Bishop early. Remember, Roach came across with that crunching hit, all legal, and Bishop maybe not a player of his class would be looking over his shoulder, but there would be possibly some doubt going to some of those Terrigal Avoca's players' minds about going to the football. As we'll have a repeated boundary throw in here. Warners Bay need to lock this ball inside forward 50. Tap there, give that to Davis just. Where's the ball? It's been locked in here. McGuinness is there. Quick scrubby kick out on the left from Jason Van Dam. Creswell's there, so is Metcalf. Trying to corral his Metcalf. Gets a handball out to Turner. Turner on his left side. It gives an Oz. Here's Nickel. Out on the 4. Was he looking for Deverell there, or was he going to shoot?
No, I think he's just had one step, he had one step more. And if he'd have been balanced, he might have kicked that. Thank you. Jack Hardman, danger! Hardman's going to chip that up. Oh, unselfish to Lachlan Deverell. Great vision, lowered his eyes, Lucas Holmes. That's like watching your mate Steele Sidebottom setting up down that right flank. That's what you do. That's unselfish. It's still a tightish angle for Lachlan. But at this ground, ladies and gentlemen, this ground is not symmetrical. And those far pockets are actually a bit shallower than these ones closer to commentary. Lachlan Deverell, for his first today, goes through his process. Seems to hit it okay.
Just to the near side, David.
Near side. So, again, poor shooting both sides. Warners Bay 3-6-24. Terrigal 1-7-13. Warners Bay up by 11 points. 17 and 3/4 minutes elapsed time. Bishop with the kick in. Lovely mark, Polglaze. He's starting to have some influence now, Polglaze across half back. Short ball. Finds Fleming. He's on the mark. Can't go any further. Fleming goes square. McGuinness won't outmark Polglaze in a million years. Like to see McGuinness get out in the open again, Louis. He looked dangerous earlier. Oh, we kicked over the top. Well done. Sorry, Lucas.
Sorry, Crawley's back on as well, David. That's who affected the spoil in that instance. So he's back on. Is Ben Crawley.
Still proppy. Have a look at him walking. Speaks down the line. That might be out of bounds in the full. It's almost deliberate. That's a kick to position. Ben Crawley's on, and that's all we can ask. He's come out and having a crack. Dennis has been serviceable, I think, and he's got quite a few kicks, and he's been putting his body on the line. Now Crawley's got to be on the same. In fact, Crawley's gone to Ellis. So Crawley is now spotting Sam Ellis, and he's not in the ruck, Lucas. Sorensen's doing some ruck work here. He's the nominated one. Gets the tap out because of his spring. McGrath, well done. Turns around on his right. Gets it going forward. Who's underneath it? McKellar, who's been quiet. Short ball. That's dangerous. Doesn't do any favours for Fleming. Fleming comes across. Well spotted. That's a mark to McGrath. Looking for a delivery. Corey Deverell, and well done by Fleming. Getting it out of bounds over there in the forward pocket. Lucas Holmes.
It's an interesting one. Lachlan Dennison, Newcastle City junior, David. Moved up to Brisbane due to his father's work commitments, and now back down playing for Warners Bay. 19-year-old.
Ball coming forward. Here's a chance. McGuinness here. Was just calling for this. Now he's got pressure on him, however. Gone to ground. He's in trouble. He sort of shoveled that out, really. Grimmond. Vo's got to stay with him. And well done, Grimmond. And Vo stayed on his feet and didn't let Grimmond get an easy posse. So Houston down here with Link Stewart is going to call him off. James Webster comes on for Jack Grimmond, and I'm sure that Turner will go to him. And Vo will take Creswell.
Yeah, straight away.
Hunter's in the ruck contest against Davis here. Makes a contest of it. Creswell, speedy. Just enough done by the Warners Way player in defence. Now here's a chance. Crawley being exposed by Ellis. What can Ellis do? Misses. So enough of a chase put on and a tight angle. Warners Bay 3-6 and Terrigal Avoca 1-8. And we have about 5 3/4 minutes left in the quarter. Warners Bay going along okay, and it's not as if they're hanging on. It's even. Neither side really breaking the shackles in attack, are they, Lucas?
They aren't. Both the same number of scoring shots. Warners Bay making the better of them, if you could say that. Still 3 goals, 6 themselves.
Metcalf looking for Lachlan Deverell, and that's interesting because it's going to be a crash ball here. Warner's missed it. Chance for Terrigal Avoca. Polglaze has got to give that. Doesn't. Goes long. Good kick. Should be marked. Dennis?
Yes.
Right at the death. Stays inside the field. Continues on a lovely short pass to Nickel, who again has been very solid across half-back for the Dogs. McGrath probably wants that out with a 2-on-1 and gets a result over in front of the baseball diamond.
Had an interesting element with that same instance that Dennis was in this morning in the plate game, didn't we, David, with a decision?
Yes, I think our mate Andy Baldwin, if you're listening, Stats, I might have a chat with you about your behind not call there later on, my son. I know you like to point out mistakes. You might get some back, old Stats. So have a chat with you about that later.
So what actually happened, ladies and gentlemen, is there was a mark taken between the goal and behind.
Sorry, Lucas. Webster on the run. Stewart's got to take that mark. Does enough. Where are the Rovers? Thomas. Ellis at the back. This should be a goal. Ellis. Goal. Well roved, actually, by Sam Ellis. Kept his poise and balance. So, goal to Sam Ellis. Terrigal Avoca back to 4 points. Terrigal Avoca 2-8-20. Warners Bay 3-6-24. Lucas Shea.
Prime 7 in 2018, Prime 7 has every big game live and free. Coverage includes 4 games every round and 7 mate, including Friday and Saturday night and Sunday afternoons. Black Diamond AFL and Prime 7, your local AFL team. And referring to that instance we had before, a mark was taken between the goal and behind posts, and the player, instead of going out between the goal and behind posts, kicked the ball between the 2 goal posts, which should have been a behind in that instance, shouldn't it have, David?
Yeah, and Jake Roach into the ruck, Lucas Holmes. Goes early. Davis beats him. McClure, yep, just checking. Bishop has a run at this. Warners Bay don't want to give up another late goal. They want to go into the break in the front. Almost a mark to Pete Van Dam. Gets a little left foot kick away. Thomas with attention from Nicholas Metcalf. Handballs to himself. Does well. Metcalf not giving up. Staying on his feet, importantly. Well done, Metcalf. Warner should have let that go for Warner, who was on the run. Thomas skews one across centrally. Ellis, well done. Stewart with the punch. Stewart recovering well. Hassled out of that by James Webster. Now, Dog well smothered by Luke Roach. Now Gibbons has got to have poise here. Just gets a kick out and does just enough. Where are the forwards? Sorensen needs to get it out. Deverell steps his man. Gets it out again. Jake Roach. He'll go straight through. Finds a loose man. No, he doesn't. Jack Grimmon's away. Down the centre wing. Down to Combox side. And good mark. Good lead by Pete Van Dam. Josh Nichols too far forward. He should come back. Pete Van Dam goes long. Terrigal is starting to get a bit of a run of this. Good mark at the back. Well done, Matthew Spinks. Well read.
Nichols out again from being on that mark. He could almost play on as well, David. Sorry.
He's looking for McClure. Makes a crash ball, and that was a 1-on-3. And he's done a great job to get a stoppage right in front of Combox. 2 minutes left. Warners Bay in a very interesting first half. Lots of ducks and drakes and positional changes. Warners Bay leading by 4 points. Lucas Holmes.
And Davis goes on that alone, gets a 2-handed shovel out from the ruck, holding Crawley back, not paid. Spinks evades 2 tackles. Goes around to his left side, goes to Roach. Roach goes down the line looking for Sorensen. And push is it paid as a push? No, as a spoil, and there'll be a throw-in between the 2 interchange gates, David, with just under 1.5 minutes to go in this first half.
What an interesting game of football we're seeing today. Much closer, I think a lot of people would have thought at half-time. Warners Bay really acquitting themselves extremely well. Committed, tackling hard, running hard. Jake Roach has had one of the best games I think I've seen him play. Lachlan Dennis has been solid. Nicholas Metcalf's gone well. And Terrigal Avoca will go in at half-time and I'm sure will be quite calm and relaxed. And they'll try and come out and find a way in the third quarter. Spinks and Webster, 2 prime movers. Spinks gets him to the ground, which he had to do. Stepping through is Sorensen. Vo needs to go long. Low ball. McGuinness in front. Gee, he's almost held out of that. Good tackle, McGuinness on Flint. Oh, there's another good tackle. This is the big thing today. Their tackling's been really good, Warners Bay. Very committed. Away goes Scoos. Bishop, danger. Luke Roach has got to let him go. Did. Punch out from Metcalf. Danger out the back here. Ellis is free. Great tackle on the Houston. Stewart's got to be calm. And is. Kicks out as far as he can. Big contest here. 1-on-3. Metcalf. Dennis. Got to stay on their feet. Warner. Vo's a chance to run. And Warner's away. He is quick. Goes long down the wing. Well done, Warners Bay. Good effort, but that's a poor disposal. Well read by Flint. Not an accurate kick. Can Warners Bay make him pay? Deverell's going to get the ball off his mate, Nicholas Turner. Can he go down the spine? He does. 1-on-2, however. Hardman. Oh, and that's half-time. So, what an interesting game of football. Warners Bay leading by 4 points at half-time. 3-6-24 to 2-8-20. Goal kickers Terrigal Avoca, Matt Shortall and Sam Ellis, and all 3 goals to Jack Hardman. And before a half-time break, Lucas Holmes.
Terrigal Avoca working their way back into this game in this second quarter, David. Fairly errant kicking for both sides in that quarter, but as we talked about, especially earlier, repeat entries from Terrigal Avoca and getting 2 goals on the board, both from sort of indisciplinary acts from Warners Bay. But as I said before, Marty Ryman, the coach for Warners Bay, will drill that into his team at half-time.
Thank you, Lucas. Back with you in about 10. Welcome back to Adelaide Street Oval in Tumbiumbi. Terrigal Avoca on the left of screen. Would have gone back and knowing that football club, would have just said, okay, that half's done. Here's what we go. This is the way we're going to go about it this quarter, and I expect them to come out flying. And Warners Bay will have gone back and said, guys, we can do this. I think they'll now be confident. They've shown themselves over half of football that they can A, shut down Terrigal Avoca to a certain extent, and B, play good attacking football, Lucas Holmes.
They sure can, David, and said before, Marty Ryman will want nothing less than a fourth-quarter performance from his Chargers this afternoon. And if they're get themselves into, excuse me for a sec, into a 2018 Hunter Haval Black Diamond AFL Grand Final.
Well, that's right, and you know they've played very good football. They've got interesting matchups. They've obviously done a lot of homework on who they want to have matching up. They've got terrific performances out of their back six. Nick Metcalf, Cyril Nichol in particular. Josh Nichols had a great day. Jake Roach has been terrific and he's got to continue on. They cannot give up another 50. Yeah. If they continue to do that, they're going to get pounded.
They will, David, as both teams are just going through their warm-ups to get ready for this third quarter.
Again, pretty much perfect conditions for footy. The rain's gone for the moment. There's blue sky over to the left of screen. And yeah, very interesting afternoon. Very interesting next hour to see how it all pans out. Just spoke to Xander White. His operation was successful on his left shoulder. Looks quite sore. And he said he'll come back well. He said he had to wait a couple of weeks, and he's going okay downstairs. It's all with Diesel, the Wonder Dog, the White family pup. He's down there too.
And just to run everybody through the equations for next week from the games we already have. So at 9:45 next Saturday morning at Newcastle No. 1 Sports Ground, in the Black Diamond Plate Grand Final, we'll have Terrigal Avoca taking on Newcastle City at 9:45. At midday, we will in the Women's Grand Final, GE Women's Grand Final, we will have Wyong Lakes playing the Newcastle City Stars. And 1 foot in the door already. Newcastle City will be playing at 2:15, playing the winner of this game to find out the winner of the Hunter Vale Black Diamond Cup competition for 2018 at 2:15. David.
And massive day of football for the Newcastle City Football Club. Home grand final and 3 grades in 3 grand finals. Well done to Nathan Wilmot and the team. And the Stars, the plate side, and now the cup side, all in the GF. Huge day for the club. And goes to show their depth, doesn't it, Lucas? Particularly with the injuries that the Stars have had. You saw what happened with Nelson Bay when they had a couple of key injuries. Gemma, Caitlin Douglas, Jessie Jakubowski. And they started to become gettable for teams. And Newcastle City, I thought that Kalani Vale would beat them today. I thought Newcastle City would struggle. But no, I was wrong. And they were. Not only did they win, they were convincing.
They were, David, and Ben Crawley's back starting this run for this third quarter against Jasper Davis. Umpire Darryl Luck has the ball, and we will be getting underway in a matter of seconds here. Third quarter, Warners Bay leading by 4 points going into this second half, and here we go. Up goes the ball. Give that one to Davis over the top with his jumps been very good so far. Della Hunt is in and under there, so is Ben Hunter. No, it's not Hunter, rather. Because he's standing up. It's Matt Spinks. And we'll have a ball up adjacent to the centre circles once again. Davis again with his left hand. Where does that go? Hunter getting in with the bump. It's a call for holding the ball is ignored. Webster runs off, is ignored. Hunter goes along the ground. Lachlan Deverell starting key forward as well. Hunter gets tackled, and that will be holding the ball this time at the edge of the centre square. Going to Kurt Fleming. Fleming takes the ball immediately, slips over, but still takes the mark there. Does Tom Creswell, because he's left-footed. Goes long and deep inside forward 50, does Creswell. Takes the mark in front. Is that Screws, David?
It is on Nick Turner. Very good contested mark, Lucas.
Sure is, David. Mark Screws taking the first clearance, taking the first contested mark of the half. And we'll go back to look and try and put Terrigal Avoca in the lead early in this third quarter. David?
The vagaries of live scoring, Lucas. Scoos should put this in through. And they're in front. Terrigal Avoca in front from a lovely mark and goal from Mark Scoos. Terrigal Avoca 3-8-26, Warners Bay 3-6-24. Lucas.
Star 104.5. Star 104.5 plays the music we all love and has proudly supported the Black Diamond AFL since 2005.
You know what's going to happen now? This is the biggest test for Warners Bay in a couple of years of football. Let's see if they can bounce back. Let's see if they can find a way to goal and stick with Terrigal Avoca here, because if Terrigal Avoca get a sniff, they'll put 3 or 4 on in a hurry.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's have a real good look in the next 10 minutes where Warners Bay I'm going to say to you in 10 minutes' time, let's see where Warners Bay are at. Dennis, Jasper Davis starting to get dominance in that ruck. Hunter, good kick going forward. Clearance again from Hunter. Lachlan Deverill leading in front here. Tackled out of it. Nickel will step around. Uses his strength. Nickel again. Well done, Terrigal Avoca. That's almost a push in the back to Nickel. Not paid, however. And good stoppage there. Warners Bay get a stoppage inside 50. All Poglaze did well there, actually.
He's nominated to go up in this Poglaze against Jake Roach.
Poglaze wins that ruck contest. Jake Roach makes the tackle, rolls it, turtles him. Umpire says, "Mind, that was a perfect example of how to roll someone over and not push them in the back, Louis." It's what they teach the players these days. Jake Roach again. Poglaze that time. Flint gets that little short ball out, gets 30 metres. Bishop and Spinks. Spinks try to hold him up. Bishop just pushes him straight over. Ball at ground level. And it's out. There, and in fact, the central umpires called that as his ball. It actually did go out just after the whistle. So Dennis and Davis left-handed. Hunter starting to get some football. Promotes that ball 30 or 40 metres forward. Good tackle made by Corey Deverill there. Jake Roach puts pressure on Webster. Nickel gets a handball out. Another handball comes out there. Grimmond gets tackled well. Cyril Nickel gets the footy out. Tackled beautifully by, is that Jack Grimmond? That was a lovely tackle round the chest, Lucas. And lucky actually not to get a hold of the ball decision. Lucas Holmes.
He was, David. Great tackle there by Jack Grimmond. Ferocious tackling after Nickel went his head down and got over the ball. Davis will jump. Just gets that left-handed this time. Hunter at the back of the pack. Breaks one tackle, gets a kick that's immediately smothered. Grimmond head over the ball, but gets a foot to it, but goes out of bounds on the bounce, so we'll have a throw in. Almost on true centre wing, just about 10 or 15 or 20 metres rather, closer to us from the interchange gates. David?
Thank you. Dennis and Davis starting to get some parity. He's just pushed him out of the way with ease there. Spinks. Jake Roach has got a chance. Vo's going to beat him to it. Oh, over the shoulder. Point blank over the shoulder. Missed it. Obscured by a big series of players there, but we can clearly see Vo was made contact with over his left shoulder. Dennis and Davis. Dennis is really going to start putting his body into him. Gets even parity that time. Davis really a great leaper. Ball held in. Away goes Spinks. He got a free kick out of that. Oh, that's a trip. Oh, that's a trip! Okay, I'm sorry. I thought that was... He got him by the leg. Finds Bishop out the wing. Kept in by Shortle. And taken over by Bishop. Okay. That was interesting.
That would have been fair enough if the tackle started legally, David, but it started, as you're pointing to me, around the shins. So, however, we move on.
We're getting some stick from the great Wazza in the timekeeper's box there, Louis. How you going, Wazza? There he is. He's going well. Out that ball comes Pete Van Dam. Good tackle, Luke Roach. He's actually done a good job today. That's ordinary, however. They don't want to give Scoose an opportunity. Lots of Terrigal plays around the ball. Warners Bay will do well to get out of this one. Pete Van Dam goes short and wide and errantly. And they've got a stoppage. And so we have 5.5 minutes gone. Terrigal woke up by 2 points. A tight, low-scoring grand final being played at the moment in pretty good football conditions on a breath of wind. A drying track. That ball is easy to mark.
Using the Suns trying to peek out now as well, David.
Lovely. Van Dam, a lovely right-hand tap. Luke Roach has got to be solid here. Takes the courageous act and grabs the football. Jake Roach, head over the football, trying not to give away a free kick. They don't need a free kick here, Warners Bay. There's a possible one. There it is. Against Gibbons on Fleming. Fleming's probably sold that very well. Ryan Stanton, it's Argy Bargy. Be careful, Pete. Yeah, Pete Van Dam's into him. And Pete Van Dam, not a man to take a backward step. Fleming to put Warners Bay 8 points down, or Terrigal Avoca 8 points up. They'll go to 4-8 if he kicks this. Usually quite a good kick, Kurt Fleming. Perfect conditions to kick a football. You have a look in the background, it is just so still. You wouldn't actually much ask for better football conditions in August, would you, Louis?
You couldn't, David. Here we go. Pictures on Kendall's camera. Kurt Fleming. We'll let him do the talking. And he gets it. Fourth goal for Terrigal Avoca. Terrigal Avoca, 4 goals, 8-32, leading Warners Bay 3 goals, 6-24.
ISC at the cutting edge of designing and manufacturing apparel for elite sporting teams for over 20 years and are proud to be the official apparel partner of the Black Diamond AFL. So there's 2 goals to Terrigal Avoca this quarter. Warners Bay haven't scored. Pressure being put on. And let's see them answer. It hurts that Crawley's not out there. The fact that I haven't seen Crawley this quarter, I think he's tucked over there in the corner.
He started out there, David, but he must have gone off fairly quickly. They almost pulled the pin. He's still standing up, though. Hasn't got a tracksuit or anything on like that yet, but...
It's clearly wounded, so that hurts the structures. Dennis is doing his best. Now, Sam Ellis onto the ball against Dennis. See how Dennis goes against another ruckman. Ellis over the top. Well-read Hunter. Gets a kick out. That's a good kick from under all sorts of pressure. Leading the way up there is McKenna. And it'll go out of bounds in front of the crowd. Warners Bay need to strike soon and get back to parity. Need to get a goal. Terrigal Avoca just going about their business as they usually do, professionally and methodically. 8 points the difference. It's 4 goals, 8 to 3 goals, 6. Lucas Holmes, Kendall Clawson and David Redden with you from Tumbiumbi. Looking forward to a big day next Saturday as well, Louis, with the grand final.
Always a great day. Grand final day. All 3 grades being broadcast by Bar TV.
Yeah, get out the strepsils, I think, for Redden and Holmes. We'll be weary at the end of that day, but we love what we do and can't wait to call the plate grand final. That'll be a cracker, Newcastle City, Terrigal Avoca, and then a sensational women's grand final. That's just going to be sensational to watch. Newcastle City Stars against Wine Lakes. 2v4 in the grand final. Delahunty promotes the ball forward. Thomas in front. Fleming still trying to put pressure on Warners Bay. Shortall whacks it up in the air. Oh, good mark. That ball fell into Houston's lap, but he held his body and held his composure and took a good mark. So I did say to you about 8 or 9 minutes ago, Lucas, let's see where Warners Bay are at. Terrigal Avoca just putting the foot down at the moment. And Houston kicks this goal, and I would suggest you that things are looking slightly worrisome for Marty Ryman. After a superb performance in the first half. They were great.
It was, David. Houston did very well then, however, protected the drop space and took an easy chest mark, what it was in the end. Now he'll line up for goal.
For Terrigal Avoca's 5th goal in a row. Houston misses. Called by Wazza. 4-9-33. Warners Bay 3-6-24. In the timekeeper's box next to us, we've got the great Wazza and the great Michael Smith, the football operations manager for Killarney Vale. Great to have you on board, gentlemen. Oh, good leap. Almost by Harper. Roach gets falconed. Tackled by Polglaze straight away. And Ryan's prime possum Stanton will come in to take a ball up here. Darryl Luck at the back, making everybody sure everybody's okay. And away we go. Dennis and Ellis. Ellis there. Dennis has got to put his shoulder into it a bit more. He's trying to go with it with one hand. Little scrubby kick comes out towards Polglaze. That's dangerous. Handball out. Fleming starting to have real effect here. Almost a mark to Medcoff. Used his body very well. Handball's back to Warner. Sorry, I beg your pardon. McGrath and Musselbrook Jr. Lovely delivery, Sorensen. They've got to go and go quickly. Don't let Terrigal Avoca set their back structures up. He's gone inside. You opted to use Jake Roach. Roach has somehow got rid of that football. Probably was a holding the ball decision. And that ball's been called by the non-controlling umpire, I think. Oh, there's a blue on the left of side over here at half-back flank. Just inside the 50. Ben Hunter's really sticking to someone now. There's a free kick over here to Thomas, so I can only assume there was a scuffle, Lucas, well behind the play. That's happened 50 metres away from where the play was. Oh, are you kidding me? Again, some dissent. I'd love to know who that's against. And Brandon Thomas is going to take this ball at the line. Gracious me, Marty Ryman will be pulling whatever hair he has out. So I know that Ben Hunter was saying something to the umpires about what he thought of the decision, but I don't know who the dissent decision has been given against, to be honest. Unfair to finger anyone when you don't know who it is. Thomas to put Terrigal Avoca 15 points in front and kick their 6th goal in a row. And he does. Brandon Thomas a goal. So, Terrigal Avoca 5-9-39, Warners Bay 3-6-24. Lucas J, and then take over, please, mate.
Bar TV Sports. Bar TV Sports specialise in the live streaming and broadcasting of local sport, including the Black Diamond AFL. Bar TV Sports, making your game the main game. Another 50-metre penalty, David, resulting in another Terrigal Avoca goal, and putting themselves up by 15 points, kicking the last 5 goals now. All of their 5 being the last 5, now back to 5 goals, 9.
When Warners Bay are on, they're a good football side, but when they're off, their discipline lets them down, despite repeated attempts to address it, and it must be frustrating. They've made a preliminary final. You can't do those things, Lucas.
Dennis and Alice, sorry, David. Alice comes over the top once again. Hunter's in and under, almost gets pushed in the back and high in the same sequence, however, it's not paid. And once again, another ball up adjacent to the centre circles. 12 and a half minutes gone in this third quarter. Terrigal Avoca up by 15. Ellis again with a punch this time over the top. Warner in front. Davis now playing forward, gets a hack clearance out. Pushed off by Shortall. What can he do? Matt Shortall doesn't get the hook and will go through for a point. Try to hook the ball back, however, with 0 effect. Terrigal Avoca now 5 goals, 10-40, leading Warners Bay 3 goals, 6-24.
I wonder if it's time soon, Lucas, to consider putting a lovely mark, Jason Van Dam, a lovely little nudge, giving Jack Hardman some time on the ball, or maybe putting Jake Roach up forward, just trying something a bit different, and give Jack an opportunity to use his speed around the ground.
Going straight back to Jason Van Dam, David.
This is looking ominous. Terrigal Avoca just started to put the foot down. Woken from their slumber, and it was a slumber enforced by Warners Bay in the first half. Over the shoulder, Ben Hunter gets a free kick there. Still in there yapping away and having a real crack, Ben Hunter. He won't give up the steam train. Luke Roach, who's been very solid this year for Warners Bay. Lincoln Stewart, whose lovely wife is due to give birth any time now. And, of course, Ben Hunter playing with a dodgy hamstring. He's playing quite well considering that hammy. Short ball. Plucked. Fleming's been very influential, Lucas, in the last 2 quarters. I reckon he's been very solid. Fleming asking for plays. He's going to have to be told to play on shortly. Does. Dan might have been dragged out of that by Stewart. No, not
been paid out on the 4, I think, David, has it?
I thought I saw the central umpire.
Yeah.
You're right. Yep. Sorry, they're non-controlling. The central umpire in the control actually called that throw in, but Darryl Lux picked it up. Jake Roach, this would be his 25th kick today. He's got a lot of touches. Goes long. Lovely kick. Almost a perfect kick, actually. Davis, that's a one-hand handball. And out of bounds. Lucas, go.
The underground handball goes out of bounds. Right in front of to the left of the baseball cage here at Adelaide Street Oval in Tumbiumbi. And ball goes up. Davis and Dennis actually gets that one, goes over the top of Davis. However, a quick hack clearance goes forward, and Matt Shortall takes a mark on his chest. Out in front of there, I think that's Simons out there.
And it's on over here, just to the left of screen. Hunter yapping at Davis and Creswell. He needs to be, and Jake Roach has gone to tell him to settle down. Hunter at boiling point at the moment, not a happy camper. The delivery was from James Webster. And
of course.
And Shortall gets underneath that slightly. It's going to fall short. No mark taken. Stewart. And taken through by Luke Roach under duress, so no free kick. Terrigal Avoca 5-11. Warners Bay haven't scored this quarter, 3-6-24. In fact, they haven't scored a goal since the 7-minute mark of the second quarter, so they really need to get cracking. Oh, good mark. That's a very clever mark by McGrath under close attention from Bayless. Good play, this young fella, isn't he, Louis?
He's also a Musselbrook junior, David, along with Riley Warner, as you pointed out earlier.
Jake Roach, 3-quarter wedge is perfect. And finds McKenna, who's been solid. Actually had a pretty good, decent season for Warners Bay McKenna. Over here to Simons. Plays on as he has to. Who's he going to find? Hardman on the lead. Lovely football. And this will test Jack Hardman. He's going to kick from 45. Again, that as was speculated early in the week, Bond did go to him today. And Hardman's just that yard too quick for him on the lead, that is, Louis.
He's David covered some very well ground there. Corbin Bond just a half metre or so behind. Jack Hardman took a good mark in front.
Really needs to kick his 4th goal for the Bulldogs to keep in touch here.
He's got the legs.
Got a fair bit of it. That's touched on the line. Now, waiting on the goal umpire.
It's a goal, I think, David. It's a goal.
4th goal to Jack Hardman. Just gets that ball in. Warners Bay holding on. 4-6-30. Terrigal Avoca 5-11-41. Lucas.
The entertainment grounds on the Central Coast. The entertainment grounds has quickly established itself as the premier events location on the Central Coast. The entertainment grounds is an indoor and outdoor multi-purpose community facility for functions, events, festivals, weddings, exhibitions, as well as horse racing. Just got that over the top, over the goal line. Then did Jack Hardman. Needed that Warners Bay. Hardman's 4th goal. He's kicked all 4 goals for Warners Bay here. What you said pre-game and during the week, David, Hardman will need to kick a bag for Warners Bay to get up here. Here we go once again. Davis. That was McKenna that time into the ruck now. David for Warners Bay. Houston off the back of the square. Handballs quickly to Scoos. Scoos out to Bayliss. And over the top. That wasn't Scoos because that was Scoos there. And Bayliss does well and butters up for a Shepherd. Not a Shepherd, a smother. However, the ball goes out of bounds just in front of the Warners Bay interchange gates here, David, with 17, almost 18 minutes gone now in this 3rd quarter.
Warners Bay need another one, I reckon, before 3-quarter time. They've really put in a great effort today. Terrigal Avoca played very good football this quarter. Lamb on his non-dominant goes check side. Well read by McGrath and then by Spinks at ground level. Comes out to Bishop. Lovely right-hand handball. He's freed up. Delahunty can well kick the goal! A mark. Now, is that a mark to Ellis? Yes, and he's going to be in a very sharp angle here, Lucas. He'll have to come around further to his right, I'd suggest. Oh, runs around, plays on, and goals. Well done, Sam Ellis. Worked that very well. That's his 2nd goal. Very important today. He's their only multiple goal kicker. Terrigal Avoca 6-11-47, answering Warners Bay 4-6-30. Lucas.
Sports Coast Trophy and Embroidery. Sports Coast Trophy, the leading supplier of trophies and embroidery on the Central Coast. They're also proud supporters of the Black Diamond AFL.
Certainly, Warners Bay would have been looking for an extra goal this quarter, and what they didn't want was Sam Ellis taking a good mark, and he ran around and did that quite professionally. Very good performance from Terrigal Avoca this quarter. They've kicked 4 goals to 1, and in fact, they've kicked 6 of the last 2nd goals in the match. So, very good performance from the Panthers so far. Warners Bay still in it. McKenna onto the ball. Makes an effort. Still, however, Davies is going to win most of the tap-outs. Bayliss gets it forward and nicely taken by Simons. Goes to a leading Roach, who's been the best player on the ground for Warners Bay for mine. Terrific. Really mature performance from him. Driving ball. Kai McGrath over the shoulder, I thought.
Ron Stanton's called mine.
Thank you. Who's up for Warners Bay here? McKenna's just got there. Davis. McKenna would be wise to go body on body. If he goes jumping with Davis, that's going to happen. But Hunter's really smart and has read it all day. You're going to need to tap that over. They need a football. Deverell's got to put pressure on. And he does. Good effort. Lachlan White's in. That's over the shoulder. Over the top of the shoulder, I thought. In fact, back given by Stanton. So he's right out in front of the combox here. Lachlan Deverell. He's going to have to run around to his right, I think, to get on the mark. Hardman's got Bond on him, and he's got 2 blokes in front of him, so he can't go to Hardman. He's going to go short. Sorensen. Now, Sorensen's going to be kicking from 45, 46 out. This will take his very best kick. The football's dry. The weather is perfect. But if there's ever a goal he's going to kick in his life, this is it right now, Lucas. Sorensen from 45. Fair bit of that. It's going to fall short. Just falls short. In and under. That's going to go out in the full, I reckon, with a right foot kick from Josh Nicol. And does. Jared Flint's going to have to come back around the mark first. Terrigal Avoca up by 17 points. There are 3 minutes 58 left in the quarter. Link Stewart's gone forward. That's an interesting move. Bond goes down the line. Oh, well done by Sorensen intercepting. Davis steps McKenna beautifully. Good skills from the big man, and a lovely delivery, lace out to Pete Van Dam. Now Houston's running on. Metcalf's gone to chase him. Van Dam goes straight down the spine, looking for Ellis, misses. Houston roving, got his balance. Houston misses. Should have done better, really. And a little bit of argy-bargy on Dennis there from Ellis and Houston, and in comes Metcalf. Terrigal Avoca, 6-12-48. Warners Bay, 3 goals down, 4-6-30. Short ball comes out, finds Jake Roach.
He was on the right side then for Daniel Houston as well, David, being on his predominant left side.
He will be very disappointed with his effort there. McKenna, dumping ball straight down the spine. That's what you like to see. Deverell at the back, roving, stays on his feet. Sorensen then ball comes out, gets nutmegs one of the players. Hardman on Bond. Bond steps him. Luke Roach comes a bit too late. Polglay straight down the centre. Oh, good effort there at the back by McGrath. Correction, Warner. McKenna now playing on the ball. Shows his skills and goes on there. It's opposite the side of the body. It's coming straight off the bench was Harper. Stewart's got a 1-on-2. Gets a stoppage. Well done, Stewart. Lucas Holmes.
Did very well there, Link Stewart. Wouldn't have seen Harper coming straight off the bench.
No.
So probably had a bit of a space here on the 1-on-1, but they did well to corral him in the end. And once again, Stewart did very well to professionally get the ball over the boundary and create a stoppage on centre wing. In front there was McKenna, goes down to his good mate in Nickel, and there'll be a ball up here directly from the corresponding throw-in. Daryl Luck will get this up in the air, and McKenna and Jasper Davis will go again. As you said, David, McKenna needs to go body and bodies. Bishop is in and under as he always is. There's Grimmond, goes over his shoulder. Where's this going to land? In front. Great mark there from Webster. Who else? Turner, and there's space there. And that's just too easy. Sam Ellis out on the lead. Great kick to space from James Webster. And Sam Ellis will line up for his 3rd goal, David.
He will. Interesting for mine, Turner's done a good job on Webster. Webster has not... It would be unfair to say that Webster's been dominant. Turner's nullified him to a certain extent. But Terrigal has got so many options. Ellis for his 3rd. Likes
nice
it.
Kick.
It's a beauty. Sam Ellis puts Warners Bay 4 goals down. Terrigal Avoca now 7-12. After being something like 1-8. Warners Bay 4-6-30. Things looking very good for the Panthers. Lucas Holmes.
Marksman Workforce. Marksman Workforce have been great supporters of the Black Diamond AFL since 2016.
We've got 1 minute and 3, just on 1 minute to go. And this is the 3rd quarter where Terrigal Avoca have kicked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 goals to Sam Ellis, 1 to Brandon Thomas, 1 to Kurt Fleming, 1 to Mark Scouse, and the only answer has been from Jack Hardman. And Terrigal Avoca well on their way now. Let's see what Warners Bay can extract from themselves in the last quarter.
Another late goal there for Terrigal, David. Only 1 minute left.
Jake Roach into the ruck. Well run by Harper. Spinks. I thought that's over the shoulder myself. Not paid. Stanton says I'll have that. Thank you. Unbelievable. After the weekend we've had, we've got almost 2 complete days with not bad weather, but the weather now is great for footy. Quite pleasant temperature, no wind at all. Helps the skills. Spinks, left footer. He's been good today, Matthew. So is Jack Grimmond, just quietly. Luke Roach, and he's another bloke, Jason Van Dam, made the team of the year. And after an awful wrist injury a couple of years ago, Lucas Holmes had suffered in the grand final. And there is 3-quarter time. Terrigal Avoca have put the foot down. They're now 24 points in front. Terrigal Avoca 7-12-54. Warners Bay 4-6-30. Lucas Holmes, goal kickers, please.
Goal kickers, firstly for Terrigal Avoca. 3 goals for Sam Ellis, then singles for Matt Shortall, Brandon Thomas and Mark Scouse. And then for Warners Bay, all 4 goals coming from live wire forward Jack Hardman.
Terrific performance by Terrigal Avoca in that quarter. They've kicked 5 goals to 1 and really set themselves up for another grand final appearance. Lucas Holmes and I will be back with you shortly at Adelaide Street Oval. Welcome back to Adelaide Street Oval. Lucas Holmes is at his muesli bar over there on the right. And we've got one more quarter of preliminary final action on what's been a terrific weekend of footy. Just a quick run through of next Saturday for you. 9:45, Newcastle City and Terrigal Avoca in the Black Diamond Plate. Midday, Wyong Lakes and the Newcastle City Stars, with the Newcastle City Football Club going for 3 women's premierships in 4 seasons. And then at 2:15, it'll be Newcastle City versus either Terrigal Avoca or Warners Bay. All 3 games live on Bar TV. Lucas Holmes starring in commentary as always. And it will be a wonderful day at Newcastle No. 1 Sports Ground. Cannot wait. It's a big day for us. Calling 3 games is such a privilege. And looking forward to being there at a great football ground, wonderful atmosphere. And the end of a big season of football in the Black Diamond Football League. Not far away from a commencement of the final quarter. Looks like Ellis is going onto the ball. Looks like Jake Roach, Lucas Holmes. So it's here we go. Jack Hardman into the centre. So who's gone to full forward? And do I see Luke Roach up there? Or has he gone small? McGuinness is up there. So he's gone small.
Sorensen.
And Sorensen. And I think Matthews up there. So I think he's gone
pocket. Yeah.
Sorensen, McGuinness, and Spinks. Jack Hardman into the middle. Leaving Bishop probably untagged. Kai McGrath's got Webster, which means that Nick Turner must have gone back. Yes, I think Turner's back here on Shortle. He is.
Yeah.
So we've got Hardman. Now, I don't think that Hardman will match up on Bishop. I think he'll run free. Let's see how it goes. But they've done something. Change it up. Here we go. Last quarter of the preliminary final weekend. Terrigal woke up by 4 goals. What's going to happen? Jake Roach on the ball. Sam Ellis over the top. Well done, Bishop, with the right foot. Straight down the throat of Harper. Too far out to score. Player running on. Well, Sam Ellis has just come back into this side and done so well.
And Houston's running.
Oh, he's run off. He's played on. And that's a poor option, really. Warner, wide to Vo. I reckon he's one of the success stories of Warner's Bay season, Lucas Holmes. Vo has been very, very solid. And real improver, Leo Vo.
Turner's running off for McKenna, but goes back across to Riley Warner, David.
I think he'd want it in Warner's hands, wouldn't you? He's such a good deliverer and speedy player. There's an evidence. He's hit McGrath. McGrath and Warner are both impressive for mine. If this is indicative of some of the juniors that Muscle are going to produce, it says bodes well for the Cats in the future, in my opinion. Hunter, possibly his last game of football today, if Warners Bay lose. Well done to Roach. So he's got Luke Roach has gone forward too. So Luke Roach up at centre half forward. Absolutely, Lucas Holmes has to kick this goal.
Has very handy goal kicker, as we've seen in the past, as you expect Jake Roach running behind trying to get the hands. But
no one was with him, just quietly. No one tracked him. Luke Roach, often a good long kick, gets the ball up in the air and it's gone right badly. And in fact, commentators was out of bounds on the full. Warner's Bay's got to get the football in there and just keep on cracking. It's either Jason Van Dam or Christopher Bishop's going to take this kick. Warner's Bay should probably get somebody back there to get the ball back in because time's running.
Yeah.
It's not the player's responsibility to get the football. Jason Van Dam, no one on the mark. Luke Roach is there now. He's run over the mark so he can go anywhere he wants. Chris Bishop hits that one inside out a bit and he's going to get picked up by Sorensen. He should have taken that mark. Delahunty, good tackle by Hardman. That's a crack. That's almost a sling tackle.
He's called mine.
I reckon that was almost a continuation of a tackle, but not paid. Delahunty's not happy with Hardman. Slightly out your weight division there, Jackie boy. Roach trying to use the body. Ellis reads it well. Corey Deverill got to get himself in the play. Hunter, Nichols at the back. Hunter again. The steam train does the job. Gets it out to McGrath. Spinks and Bond worked him out of that one. Spinks. Bond does very well. Pressure put on Polglaze. Who's going to take this mark? Delahunty. Nice pair of hands, Will Delahunty. Goes wide. Gets down Houston. Lucas Holmes. McGuinness is almost 50.
He needs to get back. Link Stewart's got on the mark. Hands off. Goes long inside forward 50. Huge pack. Scoos roving. Gets buffeted out. Simons gets a quick scrubby kick forward. Smothered by Bishop in behind the bigger body in Roach. Bishop goes again off the ground. Scoos is alone unattended. Smith to Van Dam. Goes back. It's a goal. Brandon Thomas. Correction. That is Tom Creswell on his left foot. And now it's very hard for Warners Bay. Tom Creswell with Terrigal Avoca's 8th goal. 8-12-60 leading Warners Bay. 4 goals, 6-30.
Subway Morisset is open 7 days a week. Breakfast, lunch and dinner. Trading hours are 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Support local businesses.
Subway, eat fresh. A bit of roles reversed there, David, but we got through.
There's no role reversal, mate. We're having a sharing commentary today, and it's been quite enjoyable, I'm sure.
Thank you.
Having a good time? You enjoying it?
You very much so, David. It's been a very intriguing game, this. Warners Bay getting the jump, and as you expect, though, Terrigal Avoca getting back in and grinding away as they so often do. And then Darryl Luck with the throw. David, to you.
Jake Roach and Sam Ellis. Sam Ellis is going to win most of those. Jake's got to get body on him. Vo out to Jake Roach. Handball out to Warner, being pursued by James Webster, who's had an average game today. Webster, I think they've done a pretty good job on him. He certainly hasn't been dominant. Great tackle, Jack Hardman. Could have been paid. Out the back, Delahunty, a solid player. Big man. Roach will take that. Oh, no. Free kick. Hunter should go. Hunter has. There was continuous play. And Luke Roach has got to kick it. He hasn't. He's kicked it to Sorensen. Nichols off to the side. Sorensen's got to get on his feet. McKellar ducks his head. Did you today? Will McKellar's been quite quiet. He hasn't seen much of the ball at all, Lucas.
He usually plays at high half back, intercepting and then thrusting them back into attack. But he's been fairly well held by the rotation of Warners Bay forwards.
McKenna, a good tap out. Read best by Flint, however. One of the things that Warners Bay can give themselves a very big tick mark for is that they haven't enabled Terrigal Avoca to crash the pack with 3-on-1s with bombing the ball in. They really have been quite disciplined. There's Ben Hunter. That ball has to be good. Webster lurking dangerously. Vo, Shortle. Great tackle, Jake Roach. Man, that is a superb tackle. And he's hurt him, and it was legit. Jake Roach could almost kick that, but anyway, he's been terrific today, the big man. Up, Paul into the centre half forward area, the danger area. Hunter waiting for that ball to bounce, reads it beautifully. Goes short off one step. Luke Roach makes a crash ball. Cyril Nichols in there. Yes, get it out to McGrath. Well read Bishop though, beautifully, and a good tackle. Gone. That's McGrath, I think. Chris Bishop not impressed. And it's Hardman or it's McGrath? It's McGrath. Bishop's still not very happy.
Kyle McGrath, not a well-renowned goal. Oh, of course. There you go.
Jake Roach has hooked that. Stewart!
What?
Link Stewart. So he's 1,000,000 to 1. He's going to run around. If he kicks this, look out. He's missed. Probably the right option to run around there. It was a tight angle.
It was.
Terrigal Avoca 8-12-60. Warners Bay 4-7-31. Thanks, Wazza. Wazza's given us the big behind decision, the great man.
Webster with the
timekeeper for the Manly Football Club, the great fellow. Hello to everybody at Manly if you're listening. Kurt Fleming, been good today. Going to be at Turner. Just goes over him. Scoos has got to run at this. Dangerous if he picks it up. Pursued hotly. Bayless. Metcalf has to mark that and does in front of Tom. And they've kept Thomas really quiet today. They've only kicked 8 goals, Terrigal. It's indicative of the way they play the football that they can kick 8 goals and look quite comfortable. Jake Roach one-handed. It's got to go down, get up straight away and go to his brother who's one out. And he has. He's gone to his brother who's one out. And that's a good mark. So a good spot there from Jake to Luke. Luke looking lively at centre-half forward. Goes short. Oh, goodness me, Matt. You should have taken that. Vo. Off to Hardman. Speed. 2 steps. Got it. Uses his left. Good football speaks. Now McKenna should finish.
He's not left-footed.
He's got a decent left foot. Warners Bay now 4 goals, 8-32. Terrigal Avoca 8-12 and going along comfortably. 17 and just under 17 and a half minutes left in true time. Chris Bishop with kick-out duties. Matt Spinks has got to watch him playing on. He doesn't. Goes to the short option. Long ball down the wing. Van Dam's there. Lovely Mark Warner. This bloke is impressive, Lucas Holmes. For a young man, Warners Bay can build around him. And here's another bloke, McGrath. That's almost tackled, I think. McGuinness, that's over the shoulder against McKellar. And pretty easy to go over the shoulder against Dave McGuinness. He's about 2'1". And Ryan Sorensen has this ball. Kept you company at the Early Davey medal, did he not?
Yeah, it was a good night with Dave McGuinness and the rest of everyone in the league, actually. Great to have an environment sort of off the ground so you get to know everybody and that sort of thing. It
was. Philippa Smythe has just developed as a person so much. Great to speak to. I thought she was entertaining. Sorensen hooks it, and that's out of bounds on the full, I reckon. Just the growth in her as a person that we've seen in the last couple of years and to where she's gone. She's a very successful individual. Chris Bishop looking. He's got no one in the mark, so he can go. He's run over the mark, and now he can go sideways and do what he pleases. Jimmy Webster. If you're going to let Jimmy Webster get possessions 5 metres from the defensive goal is where you want to let him have it. Jason Van Dam's still got lovely judgment and terrific hands. Comes square. Lee Stewart just a step too late on his representative teammate Grimmond. Webster now getting the ball forward a bit more. Making contest comes out. Harper sweeping 25-metre handball to the coach. Love a little bit of candy from the veteran. And off to Pete Van Dam. Sting out of this one a bit at the moment. Warner's both got to try and find a way. Crossing ball. Jake Roach puts himself underneath it. Brandon Thomas will get intercepted. McGrath, that has to be perfect, and he's to the steam train. And Ben Hunter marks. No, he couldn't get it to Corey Devil, who was in a good position to take it. Ben Hunter. Hughes was outside 10 by just quiet. It was inside 10, but anyway. Grimmond in front of McKenna. Just to the edge of the centre circle. Off goes Jack. McKenna with a fair bump. In comes... There's that interference.
Yeah.
I thought that Warner was going for the football, but he must have... Even if he's going for the football, he can't make contact above the neck. So I thought Warner actually had eyes for the footy. But you've just got to stay away from their head. You certainly had to chase the ball back. Ashley Haler did it earlier today. So I can't disagree with that decision. And this is Dan Houston, the big man, left foot up. And we've got 14 and a half minutes left. Houston will put them Terrigal back 34 in front, Lucas. 34, yes. Over to you, Louis.
Thank you. Dan Houston. Just on the prominent side for the left footer. Advantage him slightly. Warner on the mark. What does Houston do? He's kicked it. That's almost a sealer for Terrigal Avoca, David. Terrigal Avoca, 9 goals, 12, 66, leading Warners Bay, 4 goals, 8, 32 with 11 minutes gone.
Hunter Haval, looking for a feature pack premium SUV for your family? Check out Hunter Haval and the range of affordable SUVs. Starting from just $22,990, drive away with a 5-year warranty and 5 years roadside assistance. Hunter Haval give you more. Book your test drive today. East Maitland and Cardiff, the major sponsor of the Black Diamond Australian Football League.
Sure, David. Oh. Excuse me. Back to the middle once more. It's just where they've been probably more definitely with Crawley going down as Roach goes in the ruck again. That's just where they've had the edge over them all afternoon, Terrigal Avoca with that ruck. As Simons comes marauding off the back edge of the centre square. Deep inside 450. Van Dam's one-on-one.
Oh, what a mark, Warner. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Warner with in front with Pete Van Dam. Very hard to do to come across. Where does Warner go? Looking. A chipping ball over the head of Hardman. Even with a great leap of his. Here we go. Webster hands off to Shortall. Matt Shaw around the corner. To the near side. 9 goals, 13 now for Terrigal Avoca. 67 points. Warners Bay 4-8-32.
And if things stay like this, there'll be 2 Terrigal Avoca sides, 3 Newcastle City sides, and Wyong Lakes appearing on grand final day, Lucas. Warners Bay's got to do something dramatic now. They've got to 6 goals in a matter of 10, 12 minutes. So it's a big ask. They've only kicked 4 all day. Warner, he's got a great leap, Lucas. His natural leap must be huge. McGrath, blossoming as a footballer even in this game, I think. At the back, Grimmond's going to scout this best. Spinks trying to stop him. McGuinness trying to put pressure on. Fleming, good tackle made by McKenna, who's been solid. McGuinness underneath, got to pick it up, David. Can't. Bond's in there. Ball out of bounds, half forward flank. We've got 12 minutes left in the afternoon, 12 minutes left in the final quarter of the preliminary final here at Adelaide Street Oval in Tumbiumbi. Terrigal Avoca up by 35 points. Seemingly going along okay. Warners Bay continuing to be valiant and gutsy in what I think has been a pretty good performance from a side that finished 5th. Lucas Holmes, over to you.
Thank you. And we have the ruck. Jake Roach is there. Zach Simons. You think Roach should go up unless McKenna comes from a fair way back. No, Roach.
I think it's Roach.
Yeah, Roach. And Davis. Davis jump over the top, gets his big right hand down into Lamb. Lamb goes for the ball on the ground. Lays a tackle there, does Simons, and umpire Stanton calls for a ball up. 5 metres to the right where the last one occurred. See the same matchup again. Where's Roach? He goes body and body. That's better. Doesn't allow Davis to jump. However, gets the hands out. Running there was Bishop. Almost gets pushed in the back. Not paid. Simons gets a left foot kick. Grimman goes off the back there. Gets his hands out. Jasper Davis goes around the corner. Bounces over the head there. Dennis tries to tap it back in the direction of Turner. It was that time. Terrigal through here. Handball out. Sweeping handball there from Shortle to Polglaze. Polglaze straight to Scoos, unmarked in plenty of space with Brandon Thomas straight behind.
That was a pretty clever kick, actually. That was a really clever kick. Cross kick, found Scoos in lots of pasture. And pretty much to put this one away, if it's not already the case, Terrigal Avoca 9-13 with Scoos to kick from 38, 40 metres. Mark Scoos.
He's got it.
Professional as always. Mark Scoos, another goal. Terrigal Avoca are 10-13-73. Warners Bay 4-8-32, and they've been very good today. Warners Bay, there is no disgrace in their performance today, in my opinion. Lucas Holmes.
Belmont 16-footer sailing club, located on the picturesque Lake Macquarie. Belmont 16s is one of the premier venues in the Hunter region, offering the very best in dining, promotions, and entertainment. For all the latest news and promotions, visit 16s.com.au or find us on Facebook. The home, the Black Diamond AFL.
Back into the centre, Jake Roach and Jasper Davis. Roach doesn't contest. Hunter reads it beautifully. Bishop wanting another holding the ball decision. Hardman will be too quick. Goes down the line. Intercepted by Flint well. McGuinness a chance. Too strong by Flint. A free kick back here.
Downfield.
It's downfield again. So things starting to go a little bit awry. Grimman down to Shortle. Shortle's been solid today too, Louis, for an experienced veteran. Good mate with Drew Petrie, of course.
Houston out of the square. Very courageous. There was that Link Stewart dropping back. It was 1-2 from Warner to Deverell. Out the back here now to Gibbons. Roach running this outer side. Goes long. And Hardman. A strong overhead. He's played on. Is he played on? You'd think so. Gone around the mark. Onto his left. Back onto his right, Harmon. Goes a low driving ball inside forward 50. Jason Van Dam picks the ball up. Looks up and drops the ball. Harmon backs up for more. In fact, goes straight to Flint, who now goes in the centre looking for the coach. Bishop plays and sells some as well. Ducks back onto his left from Simons. Almost a push out there from Brandon Thomas. Not paid. Play on Link Stewart's playing the goalkeeper role. They've got a 3-on-1. Though he chips back inboard looking for Houston, which will be a hard kick for Houston, being the left footer. Tucked up against that boundary, almost near the intersection of the 50-metre arc and the boundary line, with just gone 17 minutes in this final quarter with about 8 minutes to go, David.
No surprise to see Ben Hunter in front of you cramping. He's had issues with his hammy and he has run himself ragged today.
You can see the amount of tape he's got on that left quad/hamstring, David.
Indeed. Bishop's probably having a quiet word with you at the moment. Houston. Tough kick for a lefty. Out of bounds on the full. Warners Bay 4-8-32. Terrigal Avoca up by 41 points. 10-13-73. There is 7.5 minutes left in this fixture. This preliminary final on what's turned out to be a nice afternoon here at Adelaide Street Oval. Lucas Holmes, Kendall Clausen from Bar TV and David Redden with you. As they've got to get a football, and time is actually continuing. There is no stoppage here, so time is continuing on.
Unless, of course, a stretcher or a blood rule, David.
Yeah, or unless the umpires order it directly.
Yeah.
that happened at Maitland last week with the hill down the side, Lucas. They were able to stop play. Jake Roach off Metcalf. Lachlan Deverell, lovely hands. As Lucas Holmes was saying here on, Lachlan Deverell's very solid overhead. However, he's kicked it out. Jeremy Buckley puts his hand in front of his face and just shakes his head. The boys will get back to it. Jeremy Buckley, the Warners Bay nominee for Volunteer of the Year, does a great job for the Warners Bay Footy Club. Congratulations to all the award winners, in particular Teresa Haggerty, that won the Volunteer of the Year award this year for the Black Diamond Footy League. Nicholas Turner will come wide to Deverell, I think.
And there was a hold against Jake Roach, which continued after the disposal of his tackle, and will be paid a free kick against him.
He's not saying he's talking to Turner.
Yeah, because he was explaining to the skipper and to the man who had the disposal. But I'm sure, David, it's against Jake Roach.
I nod to your head, and I'm bowing my head, ladies and gentlemen, to the great man, Brendan Harper, to kick his first, I would imagine. Yeah, he's first. Ellis has got 3. Scoos has got 2. Hardman's got 4 for Warners Bay. All of Warners Bay's goals. Harper. I think he's pushed that right. He has. So Brendan Harper. Terrigal Avoca. 10-14-74. Warners Bay 4-8-32. We have 5.5 minutes left. Lucas J. 7
straight kicks the margin now out to Terrigal Avoca. Nick Metcalf just waiting for the ball to be retrieved from behind the goals. Here we go. Hunter short. Will he go short? Corey Deverell's out towards us. I wouldn't think he'd go. Turner. Plenty of leads being made, mind you, and Sam Ellis is under this. Not tunnelled out. Sails over his head. Deverell does well. And is that against Deverell or 2? No, 2 Lachlan Deverell. Corbin Bond continued a tackle after Deverell disposed of the football. On a half-back flank, just outside forward 50. He's looking inside, Deverell. Decides against it and goes to the outer. To his good mate McKenna. Luke McKenna here in front of the Terrigal Avoca bench, surveying his options. Lamb actively manning the mark. Plays on, gets called to. McKenna goes long and high. Forward, Link Stewart's there at target, brings the ball to ground. What can these smaller top rovers do? Deverell, Corey that time lays a tackle. And Hunter, great use of the body, takes a mark. Over the top that time of Creswell. Running off, goes wide to McGrath. Does Hunter. McGrath goes long, stabbing kick, but straight to Bishop over the top of his intended target. Bishop immediately plays on and goes wide to the ruck. Jasper Davis. Davis gets his head up, goes over the top. Turner does very well to effect a spoil. Plays on. Roach sitting back in the slot here for Warners Bay. Runs around, gets a shepherd off to his teammates and goes long. Short and stabbing in the direction of Warner. Goes straight through Warner's hands. Warner breaks one tackle, breaks a second. Gets his handball over the top. It's Dennis that time on the outer side. Goes back to McGrath, does Warner. Over the top to McClure. Haven't seen much of him today, David. Goes inside to Hardman. Gets another handball out to Deverell. Corey gets one more handball. That's turned over. Almost playing with it too much. Creswell gets another handball forward. Through there goes Fleming. Fleming flips it over the top. Only in the direction of Matt Spinks. Spinks finds Luke Roach in a paddock. Almost goes on his left, but goes in right and will beat Corey Deverell and Corbin Bond over the fence between centre wing and the forward 50 to the Warners Bay attacking side, David, with 22 minutes gone.
Thank you, Lucas. So we can safely say next week it'll be Terrigal, Avoca and Newcastle City in the Black Diamond Cup Grand Final. The old firm, Lucas Holmes. Very much the old firm, actually.
Some very experienced players from both sides, David. Chris Bishop. No. There you go, David. Advantage of not being paid that time.
And it was continuous. The advantage rule, it must be so hard for the umpires. Well, I agree with Michael Smith. I didn't quite see what the free kick was for, but that's okay. Metcalf, who's been superb today. Corey Deverell, chest mark off he's a great user of the football, Nick Metcalf.
Metcalf, Roach, or Nickel for the best player on the ground from Warners Bay, in my opinion, today, David.
The steam train's got to come into that calculation as well. McClure trying to find Dennis. Got a 1-on-2. Here comes his back line again. One, Bishop, off to Bayless. Away they go again, the Rolls-Royce machine. Harper. Well done, Gibbons. Gets into ground level. Well done. Oh, great work, Gibbons, although good effort there from Kurt Fleming coming in. McGrath over to McGuinness. McGuinness has got space and time. Uses the ball down the line, looking for Stewart, and a very good contested mark, Josh Polglaze, who's a good player. Good solid backman. That's not a mark. That's over the shoulder against Jake. And advantage not paid. It's a bit rugged, that one, so free kick to Fleming. No further damage done, thankfully. And we've got a minute and a half left here in the sunshine. The late afternoon August sunshine, Lucas. Our last broadcast in August for the year.
It gets into September, David. That's when finals footy really rolls around. Grand final day, AFL finals commencing in a fortnight. Cannot wait.
Jimmy Webster going backwards. Jason Van Dam going further backwards. And they'll probably go backwards again here, will they? Fleming goes forward and finds Mark Skuse. Skuse has got the ball on centre, just behind centre wing. 42 points the difference. Skuse goes long. And beautiful mark there by Corbin Bond. Goodness me, that's a cracking grab. Bond with a handball. Back to Skuse. Almost too far out to score, I would have thought. Sam Ellis, that's probably fitting. He's kicked 3 goals. And there was 40 seconds left this game. Now, Sam may run around here. McKenna's in the area to stop him running around. Ellis should run around to his right, I would reckon. Just waiting for the umpire. Watch Ellis here. Does he shuffle around to the right? No, he doesn't. And he's kicked his 4th. That's a terrific comeback. Caps a great comeback for Sam Ellis after being out for a few weeks. Terrigal Avoca, 11 goals, 14-80. And Warners Bay, 4-8-32. And that will be the last kick of the game as we've got 3, 4, 5 seconds to go. Siren imminent. And siren now. Terrigal Avoca into another grand final. Warners Bay not disgraced by any means. Terrigal Avoca 11-14-80. Warners Bay 4-8-32. Goal kickers, Terrigal Avoca. Lucas, if you can do Warners Bay, that's pretty easy. Sam Ellis 4, Mark Skuse 2. Then singles to Matthew Shortle, Brandon Thomas, Dan Houston, Tom Creswell and Kurt Fleming. Lucas Holmes.
4 goals for Jack Hardman for Warners Bay this afternoon, David.
I'd like to thank our team today. Kendall Clausen from Bar TV, Lucas Holmes, I'm David Redden. Lucas, your best players, please.
For Terrigal Avoca, David, as you said, you put it perfectly. And Sam Ellis coming back in, kicks 4 goals. As you said there, McCullough was kept fairly quiet there from a Terrigal Avoca standpoint. Corbin Bond was good off half-back. Matt Shortle was also good forward, David, and Josh Polglaze behind the football.
Yeah, look, it's hard for Terrigal Avoca. I thought that a lot of their players were... Polglaze had a good day out.
Yeah.
Polglaze was good. I thought Jack Grimman did some good things. Skuse showed his usual class. Kurt Fleming was also very good. That's one of the best games of football I think I've ever seen Jake Glorious play, and I thought he was very impressive. I thought Ben Hunter did a lot of good things. Maybe gave away a free kick there. Luke Roach had a good day out. Nicholas Metcalf,
yes,
terrific.
Yep.
And look, just a lion-hearted effort from Warners Bay, and not good enough. The mob that beat them, there is no disgrace in being defeated by this Terrigal Avoca. So they are, for mine, the favourites next week, and what I think will be a great grand final. Marty Ryman should be very proud of his men, and Terrigal Avoca as well should be very pleased with their performance. After a very slow first half, they come home like a freight train and did the business. And it's been a massive, big preliminary final weekend for us. My mate Wazza over here has been timekeeping, done all the games. Well done, Wazza. Thanks to Michael Smith. There he is, and there, the big fella. Kendall Clausen, as always, his expert work. He's a very good man, our Bar TV guy, Kendall. Lucas Holmes, well done to you, mate. Enjoying the commentary, big fella?
Thank you, David. Yes, very much. We'll catch you all from approximately 25 to 10 next Saturday morning for what will be grand final day in the Black Diamond AFL.
9:45am first game. I repeat, all 3 games being broadcast. Cannot wait to join you. On behalf of Kendall Clausen from Bar TV, Lucas Holmes, my name is David Redden. We bid you a very good afternoon from Adelaide Street Oval in Tumbiumbi. Goodbye.